I have an energy drink. I don't know why. I definitely don't need it. You are in for a treat. Every guy's fantasy, a threesome with two other guys. I know it's Keaton's biggest fantasy. It's mine too. Same with you, Chief Shawn. You're in for a treat, an interactive first round mock. But before I go ahead and I get everything going, let's have some introductions. Hopefully you guys recognize them just in case. Keaton with Keaton Talks Sports. Welcome, brother.
What's going on? Can you guys hear me well?
Oh yeah, you sound great, man. You sound
cool,
great.
cool.
You look good. Not as good as me, but you look good.
Appreciate it.
By the way, the link to Keaton Talks Sports latest mock draft, which was released earlier today, is out. A 2-round mock draft with trades. It's phenomenal. Check it out. Keaton off the air right before we went on live admitted that mine was much better, but still, you really want to check it out.
Gotcha.
We also have a guy who has not been on the show for a long time. He's having some audio issues. We think that he has Bertha he's trying to get rid of, but it's Big Chief Shawn.
Hello, everyone out there at Cheese Kingdom, and I guess everywhere else, But what's going on, everyone?
Keaton, even though he's got a Patriots banner, is a hardcore Chiefs fan.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I can tell by all the red in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense. It makes
kind
sense.
of goes in the family,
I get it. And, he tried to get a Chiefs little flag, and they were sold out. So he was like, next best thing. I get it. Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, man, you guys are in for a treat today because we're going to have a live first round mock draft with trades. And you guys get to be involved. If you're in the chat, you have veto power. It's going to be majority rule here. So if a trade is proposed and we have the majority that say no, it's not going to happen. If you have a pick and majority says no, it's not going to happen. We'll have to go in a different direction here. It's all going to be up to you guys. You guys in the chat here, we're just going to kind of go through things. I have the ability to hit the reset button anytime I want, so we can go backwards if we need to, but hopefully that won't be a problem. The Trek reviewer he's coming in strong here with some booze. I love it. Perry says hello here. And here's how this is going to work here. Keaton is going to do the odd number picks. Big Chief Shawn's going to do the even number picks. I'm going to kick it off with number one, and then I'm going to go ahead and do every fifth pick. I'm going to do all the fives. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And I'm also here to veto any of the crazy trades that Big Chief Shawn or Keaton Talks Sports comes up with. So in Keaton Talks Sports' latest mock draft, he has a lot of trades that a lot of them I disagree with, but they all make sense. They all make sense, and that's the whole point of having a mock draft with multiple people, because Keaton's mock draft has something different than what I think. And we got Big Chief Shawn, and give credit to Big Chief Shawn. A couple of years ago, he came on my show, and we were all asking, hey, where's OBJ going? And Big Chief Shawn says he's going to go to the Rams. And we all thought he was crazy. We told Big Chief Shawn, put the blunt down, and you can see it in the background. But,
that's how I got inspired for that answer.
Southern Yankee, he says, let's get it, fellas. He's on Instagram. I'm live on Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm not live on Facebook. They still are still messing with me, but I'm live on X or Twitter, whatever the hell that is, Instagram, and of course YouTube. We're going to kick off the first round here. We are ready to go here, and as soon as I find out where it is, we are going to start the mock draft here. I forgot to put the link to NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. The settings are you can have their standard, and then you can also have, which I'm using today, a free-for-all, which allows any trade. So that's what we're going to use today. We're going to go ahead and kick this off. I'm going to pick number one because Caleb Williams is basically going to go number one unless something crazy happens, unless he runs over a baby or, beats up a grandmother. He's going to Chicago at 1, but You never know what's going to happen, but it's almost as close to a lock as you can get. Definitely. Pick number 2, we're going to go evens. We're going to go Big Chief Shawn. Big Chief Shawn, who are the Commanders taking at number 2?
Well, I think that they're not going to be able to get they need a quarterback more than anything else. So, in my opinion, just going off what I'm thinking right now, I'm going to have to give them if they can't get Caleb, they got to get Drake May. I mean, that would be the most logical sense for them to do. They have no direction of anything or where they're going to go in the next year, let alone 5 years. And I think this will be the best for them to build. So if I am the Washington, I need a quarterback to start my new era of what Washington is going to be. That's what I'm going with.
All right. You know what? I like that because I have Drake May as my number 2 ranked quarterback. But one thing me and Keaton both have the same in our mock drafts is we both have Jaden Daniels going to Washington. Keaton, I'm going to throw this out to you, man. Do you want to veto this pick? Are you going to throw the red flag out there? Are you going to tell Big Chief Shawn no? Or do we let the Washington Commanders take Drake May number 2?
I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff about Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders, obviously. You look at the fit there. Cliff Kingsbury is the head coach there. And I believe, just in my opinion, I think Jaden Daniels fits in the description with the Commanders. But you can't go wrong going Drake May, obviously. If you think he's the guy for you, it's just going to be a matter of putting pieces around that young quarterback to be successful, not just getting that quarterback, but surround him on the offensive line and weapons on the outside. So, I mean, if they want to go, I mean, in my opinion, I would go with Jaden Daniels, but like I said, Drake May is obviously a phenomenal quarterback as well, so you can't go wrong with that. So
that's kind of my thought process, and I'm hearing more and more that the Commanders are going to go with Jaden Daniels.
I mean, they more likely will go with Jay, but I just have a feeling that May will be a better fit with him. The way he is, his stature, his style. I know their style of football. They're going to probably make Jaden adjusted. I just think May will be a better fit for him.
No, I actually agree with that. I think May's game translates a lot better to the NFL game than Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams.
Yeah. They're so raw. They're talented, very talented, but they're so raw. I think
both Daniels and Williams, the scrambling around, they're just simply not going to be able to do in the NFL. And that's kind of why I was having May at first, but it appears that they're going to go. So you know what? We're going to have some fun. One Pride 40 chimes in. Lions high Kool-Aid. You know what? You're not the only person to say that, One Pride. I'm so glad to have you here, man. It's good to see you, brother. By the way, One Pride, check out my latest mock draft. I have the Lions getting very creative here, so I would definitely like to hear your opinion. Funk liked it for a change. Funk actually liked something. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it. Drake May goes number 2 to the Washington Commanders. I love it. We already have some disagreements here. The one thing that me and Keaton agree upon, Big Chief Shawn already throwing some stuff into the mix here too. By the way, nobody wants to see Darius Robinson go to Detroit, One Pride. That would be terrible. I'm joking. I've been mocking Darius Robinson to the Chiefs my first couple mocks. I'm really high on Darius Robinson. Really high on Darius.
I don't know if Darius would be a good fit here, though. I mean, he might be.
Great fit, man. I think he would be. Reason I haven't been on here a lot, I've been hanging out with. I didn't know you had a girlfriend. Man, you know what? I'm not going to go there, man. Hey, listen, man, that's awesome. One Pride, that's awesome, man. I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad you're here, man. I'm just glad you're here. That's glad you're here. I'm glad you got a girl, man. That's awesome. The best pick in the draft for Keaton. Keaton's excited now. Keaton, your guy is gone. And this happens in the draft sometimes. I remember Bill O'Brien, when the Chiefs leapfrogged the Texans to get Patrick Mahomes, was furious. And they had to settle for Deshaun Watson. But they went to, I wish I could find the clip, but like he was pissed. So
yeah.
You could put on your Bill O'Brien mask and Put on your Bill O'Brien mask here. And so your guy is gone. Your guy, Drake May, is gone. What do you do here at 3?
See, this is, in my opinion, I think this is where the draft starts because the Patriots can go in a multitude different directions here. Like, if they were to stay to 3, or if they were to stay pat at 3 and take a quarterback, me personally, like I said, I would take Drake May just because I would think, like, just overall fit. I think he fits well with that team, and obviously when it starts getting cold, I think he's more built to handle that. Now, Jaden Daniels, I want too. I've been saying that early on my draft process, but the one thing I worry about with Jaden Daniels, it's not his talent because we all know how talented he is. It's just him taking a big hit. I'm just worried about him because he took a lot of hits even in college. Like him not being able to get down, just making a simple play and saving it for the next play. So, but like knowing the New England Patriots in past history, they normally like to trade back. So like it would not surprise me if they end up trading back with a team like the Vikings, who have 2 picks, picks 11 and 23. So like I look at that, I'm like, okay, that's interesting because not only we need a quarterback, but we also need a left tackle, like I said in my mock. We also need a wide receiver, which is we desperately need. So like I also wouldn't be mad if we traded down because we also have other areas in our team that we need to address ASAP. So I see us.
We have a trade, and I'm gonna let you go. What are your you said Minnesota, and both of us mocked a my last draft I didn't, but I've had a lot of drafts from Minnesota trade with New England, and that's what you had. I'm gonna let you do the trade conditions. What unless you want to make a pick here, what are conditions if you do want to do a trade? What do you want to? Who is it going to be with? Is it going to be with Minnesota? And what is Minnesota going to give up?
So yeah, they're going to give up picks 11, 23, a first round pick for sure, and I threw in, I believe, a 4th. So, I mean, like I said, the only reason I haven't trading back with Minnesota because Minnesota is a team that needs a quarterback. I mean, he lost Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons, so I believe, like I said, if Patriots will get picks 11, 23. 2025 first, if it's down, I think it's down there, and I believe a 4th round pick.
Which one? They pick 108 and 129, or do you have a 2025 4th round pick?
Probably a 2025 4th. That's good. Okay. And then Minnesota gets 3.
All right, so Minnesota. All right, so we're gonna do the trade. By the way, and Perry says trade down as well.
You could probably give up that 4th. It'd probably just be good. It'd probably just be the 11, 23 in that first.
So here's a drill. It's a little goofy here. The way it does it, but here's the drill. I did a free for all, so I can do whatever.
Yeah,
I can override it, but I'll put in. You want the 1st and the 4th? It'll go through no matter what.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in our trade here, the Minnesota Vikings are going to give up a 2025 1st, a 2025 4th, pick number 11, and pick number 23. Mm-hmm. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto this trade?
And you're getting, and what are you getting for all those?
Pick number 3.
Pick number 3.
By the way, I'm just going to throw this out there. This is less than what San Francisco gave up to move up to 3 to take. Right. Oh man, I'm fit.
You know what?
Oh, take what's Trey Lance, wasn't it?
Trey Lance, yeah. This is less. It may sound extreme, but this is less than what the 49ers gave. I forget who it was. The trade for Trey Lance. So
Trey Lance, yeah.
Yeah, Perry, I agree. I think it's a fair deal. Unless Big Chief Shawn issues an objection, we're going to make this move here.
I actually like this deal. This is a very fair deal. I know what they're trying to go for, and that's fine with the draft picks that are left and remaining.
But here's the deal. Drake May is gone, so who's the quarterback?
Well, I'm hearing a lot of – I mean, that's the thing too is, I mean, J.J. McCarthy is – listed to go to Minnesota as well. I mean, some people disagree in terms of him being selected that high, but like I mean, if I'm Minnesota, I mean, if Drake May's not, if he's gone, I'm taking Daniels.
That's what I'm saying. You got to.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this. That will be the next logical move.
Yeah.
You got rid of Cousins. Why wouldn't you make that move to move up to get him? You know he's not going to go past what? Look at this. The order here. Hell, you'd be lucky if he gets past Tennessee.
No,
right?
you know, seriously, for what Minnesota wants to do, I actually like Daniels better almost because I think Daniels, you know, the whole play action passing, the mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying May's a statue, but out of the two, Daniels can move around a little better. I almost think Daniels is a better fit for Minnesota. But
I agree.
the whole reason Minnesota.
That's why I went with this. Minnesota has tools. They need somebody who's raw, who will listen. And no, this is perfect. And this would help the Patriots try to rebuild with 2 first round. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, you know, I've mocked the Patriots trading up before too. I mean, there's no law that says you got to trade down. You can't trade back up. I mean, we saw it, was it last year or 2 years ago with the Lions? They went from 3 to 12 back to 6. Or no, I'm sorry. Arizona did that. Arizona went 3 to 12 back to 6. That was last year. Yeah, that was last year. They took Paris Johnson at 6, who's now moved over to the left side. But Big Chief Shawn, Arizona is on the clock here. You got the evens here. Who do you like the Arizona Cardinals selecting?
Well, since you're nice enough to do that, I think he needs weapons. I think if he could get a little help, he would do better. So I'm going for Marvin Harrison Jr.
I really like it as well. Keaton, man,
I think with the help, he can get better. I think they're going to go a little bit offensive this year. That's what I'm going with.
Keaton, you want to veto pick number 4 here with Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Cardinals?
No, I mean, I think that's the right fit. I mean, like I said before, I mean, you need to surround Kyler Murray with as much talent as possible on the outside. I think Marvin Harrison and him would coexist well together. So, I mean, like I said, the Cardinals, as bad as they were last year, they were pretty competitive. So just continue to build that team up.
They got a lot of 7-point losses.
Yeah.
Year, so.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals definitely take a receiver. It's whoever they have number 1. And by the way, I'm hearing more and more that everybody has a different number 1 receiver, but every single mock draft I've done, Marvin Harrison Jr., if he's there,
at least top 3.
Take him.
He's not getting past 10. Let's all
No, but you know, I've seen some people that think Neighbors is better. I have a huge man crush on Roma Duze, but I think of Marvin Harrison. Look, if the Cardinals can pick, I think it's got to be Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right.
If I'm the Chargers, this is the reason why I want number 5. I don't want to pick at 5. Okay, I want to trade down. I think this is the best thing about doing a mock draft is that Keaton believes the Chargers want a pass catcher. I'm happy with Quentin Johnston and Joshua Palmer. I have a hole at right tackle, but I got JJ McCarthy on the board. I don't want him to go to Denver. I don't want him to go to Vegas. I'm looking at the New England Patriots needing a quarterback. They got some extra draft picks. I'm thinking I'm making a move with New England and say, look, give us those 2 number 1s, and we keep McCarthy out of the AFC West. That's the trade that I want to do, but I want to hear from you guys because you guys say no, I'm going to go alt.
You said McCarthy to the Patriots, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The trade I would institute, and I would give New England, if I'm New England, I would give up these 2 pretty easily because I get the extra. It won't do it. That's one of the bad things about this mock draft tool is that it won't, even though you just acquired a 1st and a 4th, it doesn't put it on here. But if I'm the New England Patriots, I would give up these 2. And if I'm the Chargers, I would move down. And by the way, Perry, you bring up a good point, is that Joe Alt, at 11, I can get a right tackle. I can get Fuega.
It's pretty deep at all. Pretty deep at that position. So
yeah, I mean, I can get Fuega. I can get Latham. I can get Fasanu. I can get Fatanu.
Fatano's good. Fatano's
I can get Mims. I can get Mims. I've been really high on Sada Matea to tackle out of BYU, but Perry, you got a good point, man. So Perry says no. I'm gonna ask Keaton first here. Okay, I'm calling you up on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I say, look, man, you can get JJ McCarthy. All I want's 11 and 23, and that's it. And by the way, it says that we're gonna ignore this trick. We're gonna ignore this tool here. It says it's too much. It is too much, but for a quarterback, it's fair.
So the situation here is, like I said, I'm not JJ McCarthy. Like I said, he is a good quarterback. Obviously, I'm not disrespecting him. Obviously, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I'm just looking at the situation with the Patriots when we had Mac Jones. We had he was basically given nothing. You know what I'm saying? We saw his rookie year. He had a stellar rookie year. And then look what happened the last 2 years. You have Bill Belichick, who brought in 2 defensive-minded coaches and Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to run the offense. How did Mac Jones doing that? He was clearly frustrated. And then last year, or this past season, I mean, that was the icing on the cake there. And then he ended up getting traded. So I don't know if J.J. McCarthy really makes sense for the Patriots just to throw him behind that O-line. Like I said, I think the Patriots need to cover. Now, I'm not against getting a quarterback, but I want the quarterback to get protected first rather than throwing the rookie back there and then having the same thing happen to them like what happened to Mac Jones last year. So if I'm the Patriots, me personally, I'm staying away from McCarthy, in my opinion. I think he would fit better. I think he would, if you were to ask me which team I think he fit on, I think he would be a better fit on the Vikings. If you were to ask me,
I actually had him kind of going to Denver.
McCarthy?
Hey,
okay.
I got
vetoed. Me being Big Chief Shawn.
I can't make my trade, so I'm going to go with Joe Alt here, and McCarthy will stay on the board here. So Joe Alt, and this is the whole point of this, because I got Perry saying no, Keaton saying no, Big Chief Shawn saying no. And by the way, you're right, Perry. They can get 3 impact starters, and they can use that first and fourth round picks to help this year.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck at 5. Me and Keaton disagree here. I would take Joe Alt. Keaton would take a receiver. Big Chief Shawn here. I'm gonna let you be the tiebreaker here. Can I take Joe Alt? I know me and you have a soft spot for his dad. Yeah. Longtime Chief, a left tackle, but do the Chargers have to go receiver here, or can they go with my guy?
You talk about Alt, right?
Yeah,
but we have to be honest, dude. They just got rid of their only receiver they had in the last.
Here's the drill. They got Quentin Johnston, their first round pick, who they really liked, and they have Joshua Palmer, who's been playing really well.
I don't think the problem was their. I mean, of course, their offensive line is still sus, but I don't think it was the biggest problem. The biggest problem here, being biased, because I hate the Chargers forever, being honest here, their real problem, they didn't have any weapons. It's easy to lock them down, and getting an offensive lineman, which is a valued asset, because I mean his why can I say his damn name?
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert is, usually he has a pretty good reputation of being an okay quarterback. And he's losing that reputation every year because he has nobody to throw it to. Like, we all know that. Like, Allen was on his way out of the building anyway. He was stealing condiments on his way out. We caught him. So it's not like he has a plethora of help. I'm sorry, man. I had to go wide receiver, bro. That's kind of the last thing they have on their mind. It won't matter how much protection he got if he can't score with nobody.
I want to throw this out too. It's like I'm looking at the overall division. You're in the division with the Kansas City Chiefs, who obviously has dominated that division the last 3-4 years or whatever. Like, you got to be able to score points. Like, Yes, I'm not saying that the receivers they have are. I mean, they're good receivers, but like you got to be able to put up points with the Chiefs. If you can't put up points, it's not going to matter.
The receivers from the Chiefs are like below average, but they catch the balls that they need to catch. The Chargers have nobody like that anymore. Like no one. They need a start.
Quentin Johnston is one of my draft crushes, so I would disagree. But Perry brings up another point. Is there another team that would want to trade up? And the only two teams I can really think of that would really want to trade up is Denver or Vegas, who needs a quarterback. And I can't see Harbaugh saying, hey, I'm going to trade the guy I won a national championship with to a division rival where I have to play him twice a year. I just can't see that.
Yeah,
that's the only problem. I was trying to think if there's another team. The only other teams I could think of, and I'll give you two, would be maybe the Rams, because Stafford's not going to play forever. But I can't see the Rams trading up to 5.
No.
The only other team, actually there's two. There's total of 3 teams. The Seattle Seahawks. I could see them, but they don't have a second-round pick, and they have all sorts of problems on defense. You have a defensive-minded coach. You don't have a second-round pick. I have a hard time seeing them going to do it. I could maybe see the Saints, but Derek Carr just restructured his contract, and I have a hard time seeing the Saints making this move, but the Saints are really the only team I could think of besides Denver or Vegas. So I mean, Perry likes Joe Alt. I like Joe Alt. Keaton and Shawn like a receiver. You know what? If somebody wants to come in and be the tiebreaker, I'll let it go into the chat.
The dream. Joe Alt is a great pick. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they definitely could use the protection. 100%.
Well, they got a hole at right tackle. That's a massive hole that they have. And the reason I also like Alt is because of Rashawn Slater. As a rookie, he was dominant. Second year, he was out with his ACL. The third year, he came back and he wasn't the same guy. If you take a guy like Alt, you could play hardball with Rashawn Slater, at left tackle, because he's a first-round pick, so you have that fifth-year option. So what you do is that you say, hey, look, if you're not the same type of guy, I'm going to move Alt to the left side, and we're going to boot you out. Instead of picking up that fifth-year option, which would be over $20 million a year for a guy who's so, I can move Joe Alt over to the left side, and I could pick up another right tackle. So
right.
What team trade Alt for Alt or Dallas Turner? I'll throw that out there. Is there a team that would be interested in moving up to 5 for Dallas Turner or Alt?
5? Jeez.
I could see Atlanta maybe, but the problem is that the Giants aren't going to take a pass rusher.
No, I don't see anybody trading up for no quarterback this year. There's not a good enough quality of quarterback this year to kind of make that ballsy move. You know what I mean?
No, I could see maybe the Jets, but since they already traded draft capital for Morgan Moses, I don't see that either. So I don't think either one of those makes sense. But if somebody wants to throw a trade proposal, I'm sitting here at 5. I'm willing to wheel and deal. We're deadlocked on between Alt and a receiver.
I mean, because like I look at this too. It's like Jim Harbaugh is to do. I mean, like I said, I don't think Joe Alt is a bad pick. I mean, looking at what Jim Harbaugh likes to do, he's probably gonna want to build through the trenches. So I can see him picking a guy like Alt. But I'm just saying, like, if somehow Alt, if they want to go a different direction, I mean, receiver isn't a bad spot too. I mean, give Justin Herbert on the outside. I mean, you can go. I mean, honestly, Alt wouldn't be a bad selection. I mean, I can go either way with that.
Yeah.
that.
All right, so it looks like my awesome persuasive skills here won out. Perry also likes alt. What wide receiver would you want at 5? That's a great question, Perry. Big Chief Shawn, you have your options here at wide receiver here. Is there a guy that stands out to you that maybe the Chargers would want to take over alt?
Well, I mean, Xavier Legit, that's a good one. I think he's kind of got that basis kind of game. They could probably.
Would you really want to take him at 5?
No. I'm going off. There's no way Neighbors is getting where he's at. Okay, Marvin Harrison's already off the books. I mean, maybe Mitchell, maybe.
God, I've seen a lot of mocks where he doesn't even go first round, but he's a guy that I actually can't wait to see play. Yeah. Keaton, man, wide receiver at 5, which one would you want?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, if I'm looking at just the total fit, I mean, I like Neighbors there. I just think the dynamic receiver that, I mean, you look at the Justin Herbert throughout his career, he really hasn't had a dynamic receiver.
You think really. Neighbors is going to get?
I think Neighbors is that dude. I mean, I think I'm just talking about just the total fit. I think he fits in to that offense. I mean, if Jim Harbaugh, like I said, wants to go in a different direction, take a tackle, I can dig with that too, because you need to protect Herbert at all costs. But
yeah, that's the one. I mean, I agree. Both picks.
Both of those picks are phenomenal picks. I'm not saying one is wrong. I'm just saying I'm just looking at what I think Harbaugh would do most likely. But I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. You can make an argument for him too. But I think I think a team like Buffalo could use him because of their losses. But
yeah, I could definitely see Buffalo if Brian Thomas Jr. starts to fall. I could see Buffalo being interested. I mocked Carolina jumping in round 1 because Brian Thomas Jr. started to slide into the 20s, which was just kind of the way it works. We're gonna go alt here at 5. I'll be honest, I would prefer a trade, but if I have to, I'm gonna go alt. And then at pick number 6, it's Big Chief Shawn. You got the Giants pick.
Okay, see, here's the funny thing about that, right? To be honest with you, I really thought the Giants, nobody would look at McCarthy until later, at least until 10. So I actually had him going to the Giants.
Oh, wow.
Wow. To be honest with y'all.
All right, if McCarthy is available at 6, the Giants are fed up with Daniel Jones. They want to try to trade him for a ham sandwich.
Hey, come on, y'all. We all know Daniel is trash.
I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy. I don't hate this.
He's trash.
Are you gonna veto this? Are you gonna veto this, Keaton?
That's tough, man. I mean, because here's the thing. Because JJ McCarthy has been rumored to go here for a minute now, but I don't know. I'm looking at the total situation here. I mean, the offensive line was not great last year. I mean, they were towards the bottom.
Thomas was injured almost the whole year.
Yeah. But I do agree. Not JJ McCarthy. Daniel Jones is not the guy.
He's not.
I mean,
he's not good.
JJ McCarthy. I'm looking at JJ McCarthy. He's a guy that doesn't make too many mistakes. Obviously, it helps to be a part of a great team like Michigan was last year.
The difference.
McCarthy is definitely an improvement. He's definitely an improvement over Daniel Jones. Even if you get Daniel Jones talent, let's say if the Giants go with a wide receiver like Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, can Daniel Jones give him the football consistently? And plus, he's coming off of an ACL injury last year. So
let's look at this for a second, okay? For a minute, all right. This is real. You had somebody like Saquon Barkley, and you couldn't make it happen, but Daniel Jones could almost win a playoff game. I mean, not Daniel Jones, but Mac Jones almost won a playoff game with nothing less than that. He's not it. I swear to y'all, if y'all were not going to get him, I have this inkling and feeling that the Giants are just going to be like, sorry, man, this ain't personal. It's just you did pull a real Aaron Rodgers under him. because he's just not it. He has no talent. Nothing there's redeemable worth picking up more weapons to waste. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you make a good point there. I mean, they've had plenty of opportunities too to
play to your players. Didn't OBJ play with them at a point there, like season or something? So there you go. You had a Super Bowl champion wide receiver, probably a Hall of Fame running back, an okay offensive line, and you could make nothing to do with that. Like, not even
in all fairness, I mean, Andrew Thomas was out almost a whole year, and he was second team All Pro left tackle. He was a big part of the.
I mean, I get that. That's fair.
But I don't hate this, Big Chief, man. I don't hate this at all because I've been saying for a long time. His best season, he threw for 3,000 yards.
Yes.
This is the NFL. He can't throw for 3,000 fucking yards in the season and be a good quarterback.
But since y'all took him and he's gone,
no, McCarthy's available. If you want to put McCarthy here at 6,
I do. I'm sorry. If any Giants fans out there watching this, I am so sorry. But I just feel like New York knows that they don't have anything that will give them.
And Keaton, you're not saying no to this either, are you?
I mean, I agree. I mean, what he's saying, I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy. I mean, he's not it.
We're gonna
it's going to be up to the coaching staff because, like I say, if you get Jason McCarthy and he ends up not doing well, it's going to come back. It's going to come back on them. But like I said,
the worst case scenario, you're right back where you started from, having a bad quarterback.
They're
already there. It's not like they can go down. They're already a bad team.
Draft, but I love it.
I'm not like the invigoration of a brand new quarterback. It happens all the time. It did it with Mahomes. It did it with in San Francisco. The quarterback invigorates the team. Daniel Jones is not it. It's like I just feel like they're going to do that.
Harry asked some great questions here. Do you think Brian Dabo can develop JJ? Keaton, what do you think here? He did a good job with Josh Allen.
That's what I'm saying.
Can develop JJ. Yeah, I mean, I think he can definitely do that. I mean, like I said, given McCarthy's skill set, like a dude that is very coachable, dude that always wants to get better and stuff like that. Like I said, dude that doesn't put the ball in harm's way. I mean, like I said, if you just get a quarterback that doesn't put you in harm's way in games, just makes a simple play, I mean, you're pretty much in a good spot there. But, I mean, at first, I didn't think taking the quarterback was the right move just because just the current situation they're in with the a bad O-line. But like I said, I mean, he made a great point there. I mean, J.J. McCarthy, I think he's definitely an upgrade over Daniel Jones for sure. I don't think it's even a question.
Hey, look, I did not see this coming. I didn't see it coming, but that's the greatest thing about the draft. Dallas Turner, I'm going to turn down because you traded a second and a fifth for Brian Burns, and you got Kayvon Thibodeau already, so Turner wouldn't make sense in New York. This is a great question. Could a team trade up here? Now, Big Chief Shawn says, I'm pounding the fist. J.J. McCarthy is going to be the greatest quarterback to come out of Michigan since Tom Brady.
I didn't say that.
That's what Shawn says. Big Chief Shawn says he would give up some fried Twinkies for J.J. McCarthy, but
never.
Harry asked a great question.
You almost had me there, but then you said right. Then you failed.
Let me ask you both of you guys here. Is there a chance that we could see a trade? Because I could see Harbaugh saying no to Denver. I could see Harbaugh saying no to Vegas. But could the Giants say, hey, look, what do you have?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see the Giants do that. They have the trade capital for it. They got the money. They have everything they need.
What team could trade with New York? Now, New York's already – we're gonna go with McCarthy, but – I want to know if McCarthy was available, what team would trade up to 6, and what trade package are you guys seeing?
Trade up for a second round next year.
I mean, the real only team I can really see trading up, like you mentioned earlier, I think it's probably the Raiders, because I mean, look at the quarterback situation. I know you got. what's his name, Aim McConnell and Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, yeah. I mean, 2 bridge quarterbacks, but like if you're looking long-term situation, I mean, why not get? I mean, I'm hearing Penix too to the Raiders too. I mean, either him or McCarthy. That's interesting.
That's who I had in my latest mock draft, and I had the Raiders just taking him at 13 and not fucking around and just saying, hey, look, we're going to go with our guy, because Penix is a guy that I'm really high on Penix, to be honest with you. I actually like Penix more than McCarthy, to tell you the truth. But yeah, I don't know the whole I'm not a medical physician. I'm not going to pretend to be, but all accounts was at the combine, he was medically cleared. And that there's no real injury concerns. So could the Saints trade up for Turner or Bauer? Not Bauer, because we're kind of set at the tight end position, but I think Dallas Turner to the Saints actually makes a lot of sense. The problem is the Saints don't have a 3rd or 4th round pick, but they have 4 picks in round 5, which unfortunately wouldn't give them the trade capital to make a move up with the Giants. But I do think the Saints would love to take Dallas Turner. That's just my opinion. So the Raiders kind of makes sense at 6 here. Big Chief Shawn, is that what you're thinking? Is that the only move that could happen here? You're adamant that McCarthy is the guy in New York.
Yes.
What would you listen to? Just what would kind of make you pause and before you turn that card in?
What would, like you're saying, like what would make me like second guess or whatever?
Yeah. What would be something now? You're running up to the podium to hand in to JJ McCarthy.
Right.
Somebody calls you up. What makes you wait? What would be an offer that would make you wait? A realistic offer here. Is there one, or are you just convinced that, hey, if McCarthy's available at 6, he's the guy?
I'm gonna have to take with McCarthy's just the guy, dude.
All right.
Like,
I love it.
It's because I mean I get the Giants have a lot of needs, but him stinking up the place is not helping the situation.
I'm a big Brian Burns fan too. So I mean, you put Thibodeau and Burns, and you still have Dexter Lawrence. So the front 7's fine. You had some youth in the secondary. I was a big Andrew Thomas fan. So I mean, you lose Barkley. You need some help at receiver, but this is a great draft to get some help later for receiver. So Slasher, the resident Eagles fan, says JJ McCarthy at 6. Oh yes, please. I love it. I don't think so personally, and the reason why I would say that, Perry, is because you have. By the way, Evan Neal, I could see the Giants making a trade for draft day because they picked up the Raiders starting right tackle, Jermaine something or other. He's probably going to take over Evan Neal's spot at right tackle. Andrew Thomas is at left, but you have kind of a log jam. You have Andrew Thomas, 4th overall pick. You have Evan Neal, pick number 7. 2 years ago, and then you signed Jermaine. I'm going to say Ekafor, but I'm drawing a blank on his name. Really played well for the Raiders the last half of the season. He got inputted into the offensive line, did a fantastic job, parlayed that into a nice contract with the Giants. So the Giants, I would say no, but we're here at 7, and Keaton, maybe Keaton wants to make a deal here with the Titans. I don't know.
So this is the situation with the Titans. Okay, obviously Joe Alt has been rumored to go here. He's obviously gone. So I'm hearing a lot of Roman Dunze here to the Titans. Now I'm looking at the overall. Were you about to say something?
No, that's what in my mock draft I had the Titans going to Dunze.
Yeah, I think if Alt's off the board, because the Titans do have a 2nd round pick, so if Alt's off the board, they can definitely go with offensive tackle in the 2nd round if they were in that situation. But like I said, it's hard for me to. I mean, if Roman Dunze is there at 7, that's who I'm going with. I mean, surround Will Levis with talent as much as possible. and then get the offensive tackle in the second round. That's what I would do if I'm the Titans.
Well, hey, it's your pick. Let me ask you this here before I put Odunze down. You got Neighbors is available. Now, this is the NFL mock draft database simulator. I forgot to put the link in the description, but I do have Keaton Talks Sports 2-round mock draft with trades in the description below. Make sure I'm going to plug it again before the end of the live stream. Make sure you check out his video, even though before the show started, Keaton said my mock draft video is much better and that he's jealous of my good looks and better haircut. And even though he said all those things, do check out his video. It's fantastic. You like Odunze over Neighbors?
Yeah, in terms of the fit, yes.
Okay.
I think he fits in terms of like you have other guys like Calvin Ridley and you still what's that dude's name that got traded last year?
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins. He's still there, I believe. Yeah,
he's gone after the year though. He's only signed through 2024, and I have a hard time believing the Titans are going to keep Hopkins there. I just don't see it.
Right.
So no, I love this pick. Unless Big Chief Shawn vetoes this, we're going to put Odunze at 7. Big Chief Shawn and members of the chat. Perry, by the way, I'm not ignoring your comments here. I love your comments here. We're going on majority rules here, unfortunately. But Big Chief Shawn, are you against Odunze here going to the Titans?
Yeah, I am not. I agree with this. Sounds like it makes sense.
I really like it too. McCarthy is bad. One Pride, we all missed you. One Pride spending time with Bertha, not able to contribute, but he's here today, so we're very happy. Romo Odunze to the Titans at 7, and the Falcons are on the clock. Big Chief Shawn, Atlanta at 8. What are they going to do?
Well, through the availability and get back to my list. As you said, Atlanta. I actually had all going to Atlanta. So you messed that up for me. Thank y'all, both of y'all, very much.
Well, yeah, the one thing about the Atlanta is I think their offensive line's good. I mean, not terrible, but Alt might be
not terrible.
Upgrade.
I thought they were going to try to upgrade and get better, but since that did go through, because I was trying to be kind of random, I think Brian Thomas Jr. would probably be good to go to Atlanta. Oh,
really?
Yes.
Now you got Drake London there.
Yeah.
You have Kyle Pitts. You're going to pass up Neighbors, and you're going to go Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, has Neighbor not been picked? I'm sorry.
Neighbors is right there, but I mean, let me ask you this here. I'm just going to throw it out there because they had 30 sacks last year, if I remember correctly. Calais Campbell, who is 74 years old, led the team in sacks last year. I'm joking about the age by a little bit, not much. Not much. You want to go receiver?
I'm thinking about it. I was going to go bold and say Bo Dix because I think their quarterback is trash too. But
you don't like Cousins?
Not really. I don't see the fit. I think they did it out of desperation. But then there you go, Cousins. You know, he could use a little help, maybe. Because as everybody knows, Atlanta's kind of dead in the middle. They're not the best at everything. You know what I mean? Like, so it was kind of weighing up and down with me. I mean, getting Cousins is fine, but we know he's a seasonal quarterback, and I was thinking maybe get him some protection. Maybe he could actually have a decent season for once. But then I sat there. He has a pretty decent tight end. Maybe give himself a brand new receiver, get him a little help out there. I didn't know Neighbors was out there. I'm sorry, because I'm kind of doing two things at once, trying to get this monitor going or whatever. But I didn't know Neighbors was still on the table. Is he still available?
Neighbors is available, and a lot of people think that he would be already gone.
Well, that's what I've already had in my head that I was not even going to get him because, he is a pretty good receiver. But if he's still on the table, I'm definitely taking him there.
All right, so I'm gonna now. Perry says Dallas Turner, and Perry, by the way, that to me would be the guy, because Atlanta needs some help in the pass rush department. But Keaton,
I think people are going to be surprised how many defensive players are going to be available in the second round. I think
that's also possible. There's some really
Yeah.
good, there's
a
some
lot of
really
people are
good
thinking that
second
you'd be
round
so
players
surprised
going to be
how
available.
many defensive dudes.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this here real fast here. I'm gonna show you this here. There's some really good second round players that could be available. Chris Braswell, a lot of people don't realize Braswell is a guy who backed up both Dallas Turner and Will Anderson. If he didn't play at Alabama, he would be a starter, probably have 10 sacks somewhere. Braylon Trice is a guy. This, by the way, he's not the 64th best player. I have no idea why they have that down. I've seen a lot of mock drafts where he goes in the first round. Marshawn Nealon, I called him Diet Aiden Hutchinson. Reminds me a lot of Hutchinson. Una Ellis is a guy that I'm pretty high on. Nobody's talking about the other edge rusher out of Penn State. He's a really good player.
Nobody's talking about Jabbar Butler.
Yeah, this is a guy who's more like a 5 tech, but I mean, there's some good players here in this draft that are available. But if you want Neighbors, Keaton, man, are you going to veto Neighbors going to Atlanta?
I mean, like I said, I mean, I agree with what Perry said. I mean, I think I would go with Dallas Turner, but like I said, best player available. I think you have to take advantage of that. I mean, like I said, Drake London is a good player, but like it would be nice to pair him up with someone like a Neighbors or an Ndunze if he's at that pick. I mean, you can't go wrong with that either.
Yeah.
But I would, me personally, I would go with Turner just because I think he's just a better fit, and I think he would definitely help that defense improve. But like I said, if Neighbors is there, I mean, you can't go wrong with that either. Try to improve that offense a little bit.
I just remember when they drafted Drake London at 8 overall, I hated that pick, and I like Neighbors a lot better than Drake London. I was not high on London at all. And the best part is Neighbors is a completely different type of receiver than Drake London. Drake London's, a tall dude who's not going to do much after the catch. For Neighbors is the guy that can take that 5-yard slant to the house. So I do like that. I've mocked him gone in most of my drafts, but I like Turner better as well. But Perry offers a fantastic question: could anyone trade up? Because I know in Keaton, spoiler alert, in Keaton's mock draft, he does have a trade partner.
I had Denver train up to 7 because, like I said before, they need a quarterback and they don't have a second round pick. So, like I said, if they want their guy, and I know McCarthy's gone, but I don't have him trading up here because I had McCarthy going to Denver Broncos, but he's already gone.
I don't know.
If I remember, maybe I got my mock drafts mixed up, but didn't you have the Jets making a move up here?
I did. Yeah, right. Hold on, let me look at that real quick.
Ooh, that would actually be a good.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. He had the Jets. He had the Jets taking Alt, but
they. I mean, yeah, that's true too. Dang.
They could use the defensive boost. It wouldn't hurt them. They got
the Jets.
Yeah, they could do that. But honestly, I know this sounds weird, but I was actually thinking Cincinnati would actually trade up and get Turner because they could use somebody like him to change the game.
Well, I would veto that completely because the reason why is I had a major man crush on Miles Murphy last year, and Cincinnati grabbed him, and everybody thought Kansas City was going to trade with Dallas for Mason Smith. I don't agree with that. I think they wanted Miles Murphy instead.
You think so?
So I'm sorry, say what?
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The Chiefs drafted FAU, who is not nearly the player Miles Murphy was. Miles Murphy would have, if the Chiefs drafted Miles Murphy, it would have changed everything. They wouldn't have drafted FAU, of course. I also think they wouldn't have signed Hanna to that extension, who congratulations to Mike Hanna. signing that $24 million deal. Well deserved. One of my favorite players. But I had a major man crush on Miles Murphy. They also drafted Joseph Adai in the 3rd round 2 years ago. So they got their 2 starters at defensive end, and they also have 2 high draft picks backing them up. So I don't see Cincinnati, even though they do have the draft cap, but I would veto Cincinnati trading up. But I can see a team like the Saints, who desperately need pass rush help big time, making a move, but they don't have a pick in rounds 3 or 4. So
yeah, I'll probably stay put for the Falcons there, because I had the Jets taking Ope, like he's off the board now, so I don't know if those other tackles would go that high. I think they probably go more towards like the middle of the 1st round or something.
That would be my thought here. I'll be honest, at 8, I don't see anybody really trading up the way that this draft's going, unless somebody wanted to give an arm and a leg for Neighbors, but I really don't see that. I believe there's only 2 elite edges in this draft. I think Dallas Turner's one of them. I'd love to know what you think, One Pride 40. By the way, One Pride, check out my mock draft, because I do got Detroit doing something very creative here. So could Detroit – okay, let me throw this out there. How would Detroit go from 29 to 8? Is it possible? I mean, you have to give up a lot of draft capital, but – this is okay. Could anyone trade up? One Pride, Detroit. Listen, Detroit's done some crazy shit in the draft before. They went from 32 to 12 to take Jamison Williams, a pick that I thought was a mistake. But look, you're the Detroit Lions. You're 1.5 quarters away from going to a Super Bowl against a team that you got lucky and beat week 1, which everybody hated, by the way. Nobody liked that bullshit. I'm still mad about that. We won a Super Bowl, and I'm still mad about week 1.
Yeah, man.
I am. I'm still mad about that.
Hey, Tony had those drop passes, man. If you caught those passes, man.
Nobody likes that.
He caught the ones that matter.
Lions fans don't like
that's true.
Win. All right. The Detroit Lions. One Pride says the Detroit Lions could make a trade up to 8.
But I don't think they're going to, though.
I have a hard time seeing them going from 20.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's the deal. Detroit was picking 18. Yeah. I see them saying it. I don't know if Atlanta says no or not, but I don't see Atlanta going all the way down to 29. Not in this draft, because
that's a lot.
They're so close to getting it right.
You know, let me ask you guys this here, because I think it's a no-brainer. Atlanta's the team to beat in the South. Now that they got Cousins, you got Robinson, you got the new head coach. I think you're the team to beat in the South. I don't think you trade all the way down.
No.
But I'm not gonna lie to you though. I would go Dallas Turner instead. However, Neighbors is the higher rated prospect. He's a different type of guy than Kyle Pitts and Drake London. You gave Cousins all that fucking money. I mean, why not give him who could be the best receiver in the draft?
This would prove the point of them putting all that money on him. You know, like, well, you know, the Vikings never gave him what he needed, blah, blah, blah. You know, it'll be better for this, because yes, it will be good putting Turner in there. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That's a good pick too. But I thought about it, like, there's nothing to really build off him though with Atlanta's defense.
So Atlanta picks again at 43, and then they have both 74 and 79 in the 3rd round. We just went through there. Atlanta could get some edge rush help at 43.
I think
they could also trade back into round 1 very easily,
because they have a lot of capital this year. Clearly,
Perry brings up a good point. He likes Thomas Jr. better, and I'm not going to argue that, but because you know Perry, you're not the only person to think that, but majority of people have Neighbors higher. You're not alone in that. So Perry says take Dallas now, get a wide receiver in round 2.
I don't think a good enough wide receiver is going to be available in the second round.
Well, seriously, when I look at Atlanta, I don't really know if they need to take a receiver. If you think Drake London's the guy, remember they picked him at 8. Kyle Pitts looked like he was going to be a stud, and then he got injured. Wasn't really the same guy last year. You made the trade for Rondale Moore, a player who I really loved coming out of Purdue. Really, he's part injuries, part maybe being in a bad situation. Maybe it's just a kick returner in the league, but you traded Desmond Ridder for Rondale Moore. But look, this is a quarterback driven league, and if you want to score lots of points, you would take Neighbors.
That's true.
Hey, by the way, Perry, I'm not disagreeing with you. When I look at the Falcons, I didn't put receiver, but if the best player on the board is Neighbors, it's interesting. So big Chief Shawn, are you sold on Neighbors?
Because here's the thing. Like, I get why everybody wants Dallas Turner, but I just don't see what would they be adding that they couldn't wait for the next round for. Because like I said, they're dead set in everything. Like, they're middle of the road, offense and defense. They're a building franchise. I think with the Cousins move, this will be not a slam dunk, but this will be something in the right direction for them to be confident about the offense and then focus on the defense on the back end of the draft and find some really good talent.
All right, Keaton, are you going to veto Malik Neighbors to the Falcons?
Like I said, I mean, I know if he's available, like I said, you take him. I mean, it gives Kirk Cousins another weapon to rely upon. Like I said, Drake London is a good player, but it would be nice to add someone next to him, take pressure off him. That way he's not getting double teamed. So, like I said, I think he fits well in the offense. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, Perry, I would do the same thing. And if I wanted a receiver, I would do it. But Big Chief Shawn, it's his pick. We're going to go with Malik Neighbors off the board for the Atlanta Falcons at 8. We're coming up at pick number 9 here. The Chicago Bears are on the board. It's Keaton with the Bears pick. Who do you have them taking?
This is odd. This is pretty easy for me. I'm going with Dallas Turner here with this pick. This gives – now, the Chicago Bears had a pretty good offseason. You got Keenan Allen. You got everyone. You're pretty much set on offense. Now, go and try to improve the defense. The defense did get better towards the end of last year. Now, you add Dallas Turner, it puts him on one side and it puts Montez Sweat on the other side. I think that would be a good 1-2 punch on the defense.
I really like that too, because you drafted 3 defensive tackles last year, and then you also solidified your offensive line. Your tackles are good, your interior's bad, but it's easier to get an interior guy than a tackle. I actually really like this, but I've also mocked the Bears in a trade. So Perry says trade. Before you're settled on Dallas Turner, which I really like, is there any possibility? Because remember, after you make this pick, what do the Bears have? They only have 2 other draft picks left. They only have, I think it's a 4th round pick.
No, I had them in my mock. I had the Bears trading back with the Rams.
That's right. That's right. You had the Rams trading up here.
What inspired that?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
No. I forgot about your trade with the Rams because I remember I didn't like it, but
yeah. So I'm looking at what I had here, because you lost Aaron. I mean, Aaron Donald just retired, so you need to address that position. I'm thinking like, okay, if the Bears trade back here, you can get another edge rusher, maybe like a Leatu Latu, or go defensive tackle, maybe like a Brian Murphy to take over that spot for Aaron Aaron Donald. So I mean, I had the Bears trading or getting picks 19, 52, and it's a lot, a first and a third for pick 9.
Ooh, God, that is a lot.
Wow.
Is this correct? Do I have this correct? A 2025 first, a 2025 third,
Third, yeah.
Pick number 19 and pick number 52 for pick number 9.
Yeah.
And by the way, when it says not, ignore this. By the way, guys, I'm not sure which chart that they use, but I don't agree with it. I think this might be a little much, but if you're the Rams, that you have all this late round picks, which by the way, last year they used a lot of these late round picks, Puka and Natua, 5th round pick, Dennis Allen, who started some games at tight end, 6th round pick, Byron Murphy starting outside linebacker, 3rd round pick. This kind of makes sense that you could have Dallas Turner here. I have Dallas Turner going to Atlanta in my mock, and I have Neighbors going to the Giants. Slasher, I have the same exact thing, brother. But that's the reason why I wanted to get 2 other people who are different than me, even though both of them said that my mock draft is better and I'm better looking. They say that all the time.
We told you we'll never admit to that on camera.
They say it all the time. So, but that's the reason why, is because you have 32 different opinions of 32 different general managers. Me and you think the same, but different people are here. That's why we're doing this interactive mock draft. But yeah, I have the same exact thing, Slasher. And Perry, I love this trade because if I'm Bears, I want as much trade capital as I can. Now, the issue I would have is that you already have an additional 2nd round pick in next year's draft. So I don't know if I really want, do I really need 2 picks in rounds 1, 2, and 3? Because if I don't win this year in Chicago, I'm probably gone. But I do like the fact that we have a trade here. So, Keith, let me ask you this here: do you want to go with Dallas Turner, or do you want to go with the trade? It's your call, man. You're in charge.
I mean, if I'm the
Bears colors there, it kind of looks bearish there. I got the black.
It's like red, blue.
Your shirt for a minute, your shirt looked like it was orange, but it's
probably the light.
The light looks orange. Yeah, all of a sudden, like it's a Bears pick, and all of a sudden you morph into Bears colors. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but if I answer your question, I'm gonna trade. If I'm the Bears, I'm trading back.
All right, okay, so we got to trade
now.
Chief, I'm sorry.
No, I was trying to figure out because I know you said they probably don't need an extra second. I'm trying to maybe adjust the capital there. But yeah, I mean, I'm trading back from the Chicago Bears.
All right.
Rams
this is the
trade capital up, eh?
So, hey, look, the Bears need it. And by the way, you're stockpiling on 2025 picks. Hey, listen, if you have your quarterback set, why not trade back? And by the way, you could use those draft picks just like you did for Montez Sweat this year.
Really rebuild next season if this year doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto this trade, or are you going
to now when you put it like that, I was about to question it because that's a lot of stuff you're giving, but.
It's this is your decision, Big Chief Shawn, because Keaton says, hey, he's pounding the table. The Rams are going to make a deal. It's an excellent case. It's an excellent argument, but you have the option here, man. Are you going to veto this?
Because I mean, heck, even the thing y'all using says it's too much. They like the computer's like, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to encourage you because, like, I'm not really. I've done a lot of mock drafts with.
But
this.
I do agree with him. I do agree with him on this. In fact, the way he laid it out makes total sense. Like the Rams needed the kind of boost now because they're still going off good momentum, not having the greatest of seasons, but they're still building and work some stuff out. This helps Chicago rebuild because, like you said, they're already going with their guy. They got their quarterback. So even if this season doesn't work, next season, 2025, is going to be one hell of a year for them. That next draft, 25, 26 draft, they're going to eat. They're going to eat up well, and it might benefit them. Patience is a virtue in some cases. So I agree with this. This is good.
All right. So Perry asked a great question. What about Philly trade up here?
Could
Now,
they?
here's the deal, though,
I
Perry.
don't even know if they could, though.
Well, here's the deal. The Eagles have 2 picks in round 2. They have 50 and 53. They don't have a 3rd round pick. They don't have a lot of holes. So I could see Philly doing this. The one thing they do have a hole in is not edge rush, but they have a major hole at corner.
Yep.
Let's say you want to jump up and grab a corner here. You by the way, a lot of mock drafts have Terrion Arnold as a top 10 pick. Quinion Mitchell is one of my big draft crushes. I mean, go to a combine. This isn't. He looks like an NFL corner. This is a big motherfucker. He's 6'1". I think 193, 195. He looks like he's 205 or something. And I'm like, well, if he runs around 4'5", 4'9", then I'm taking him in the first round. Guy comes out, runs a 4.33, and he's just built like this is a grown ass big motherfucker, and then he runs a 4.33. That's my number one corner.
Like I said, man. Like I said, the Eagles, whoever they go at corner, whether it's Mitchell or Arnold, it's going to improve that defense significantly because their defense. Yeah. Their defense definitely collapsed towards the end of last year, really after that 49ers game.
Yeah, here's the deal. I can see the Rams doing this. I don't see the Eagles giving up a number one their
window is still open to never sacrifice so much so soon.
Yeah, I can see the Rams. I can see the Rams doing this because this is the first time I want to say since 2018 that they've had a first round pick. So they're not used to it. The Rams love giving up first round picks. Philly on the other hand, I don't think does. And by the way, One Pride, I encourage you to check out my mock drafts because you're saying a lot of things. I'm like, have you watched my video yet? Put Bertha on the back burner and watch my video. And by the way, check out Keaton Talks Sports 2-round mock draft with trades. Even though he's adamant that mine's much better, but do check it out. Check out both her videos. His is fantastic. I like a Philly trade up here. I just think the Rams offer more. So unless Big Chief Shawn says no, we're going to make a move.
I said make the move, man. It was very convincing.
We're going to trade here.
It was very convincing.
Oh man, you know what? Oh, okay. So
what are you doing?
All right, so we're having technical difficulties with the trade tool. It's I'm going to try to refresh here, and you know what? I may have to start over from the beginning. Oh no, I got the. All right, so I'm having some technical difficulties here, so we'll see if I can do it. If I can't, I might have to start over here because I'm having some technical difficulties here. I apologize. Because I got page I don't know if you guys can't see the. So I have an error message here from Google Chrome that's not showing up, but it's not letting me.
Sorry, brother.
All right, so there it is. So we went. It died on me. So I'm sorry, guys.
All right, then, I remember the picks.
I'm going to be demonetized now because I'm going to be demonetized because I got a commercial on there. But bear with me here 1 second here.
You're good. You're good.
All right, guys. So share screen. There it is. Okay. So, all right. So sorry about technical difficulties here. So we're going to have to zip through this and I'm going to try to remember everything here.
I remember.
All right. So let's see here. We're going to start. Caleb Williams was number one, kind of a no-brainer. We threw a curveball. Big Chief Shawn threw a curveball. Ruined everybody's mock draft by going Drake May. New England was trading they were trading the 3rd pick to
Minnesota.
And Minnesota is just giving up the farm here. Was it a 2025 4th or was it pick 108?
It was a 2025 4th.
Okay. So 2 picks here.
Yeah.
and then Minnesota takes Jaden Daniels, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes number 4.
Yep.
The Chargers, we went with Joe Alt, right?
Joe Alt. Yep.
The Giants take McCarthy. I love this here. Big Chief Shawn brings the chaos. So Roma Day.
Roma Dunze.
Okay. Atlanta goes with Malik Neighbors, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, is that right? And then at 9 is where we got stuck. We had the trade.
The trade with the Rams.
I love this, by the way. I absolutely love this trade because I didn't see it.
So it's going to be Minnesota for 9, right? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, and it was a first and a fourth, or first and a third? First and a third, right?
Oh, hold on. Let me look at my. It was for the Rams. Oh no, for the Bears. It was first and a third.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to make the trade here. The Rams are on the clock. The Rams are going Dallas Turner. So there we go. All right. There we go. All right. The technical, that wasn't too bad. Thank you for bearing with me and my crappy computer. It's, maybe I shouldn't have had 15 OnlyFans pages up. I don't know.
You work hard. Sounds like you're working pretty hard.
I am working hard. By the way, subscribe to the Platinum. Keaton's already subscribed, $99.99 a month for my Platinum OnlyFans. Keaton loves it. He can vouch for it. He loves it. So you definitely want to join. All right, pick number 10, Big Chief Shawn here, man. You've been bringing chaos, Big Chief Shawn. Yeah. It's been chaotic here with you. So let's bring some.
Sorry, hey, look, man.
And what do you? Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I get to pick at 10.
Yeah, you're 10. You doing the 10, 20,
I'm going to tell you something. I really like Olu Fasanu here, and the reason why. You have the oldest tackle duo in football. Morgan Moses, if I remember right, is 34 or 35. Tyron Smith is 33. He hasn't played a full season since I think it's 2015. I think Fasanu can start day one at left tackle and move Tyron Smith to the right, and Morgan Moses becomes a swing tackle, which is important because you need. I had a buddy of mine brought up a very convincing point about Brock Bowers going to the Jets, and it made a lot of sense, and I really like it. But I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers coming off an ACL tear, 2 old tackles. I like Fasanu better, so that would be my pick. I'm picking for the Jets at 10. I get, by the way, I'm doing intervals of 5. I'm going 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm taking Olu Fasanu. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto my pick here?
No, it makes sense, man. I mean,
you had them trading up to 8, so I have a hard time seeing you, but I will argue. I'll listen to an argument if you want to present one, but I was going to go Olu Fasanu. Unless you object.
I did have him train up to 8. I mean, for Alt, like I said, he's gone. But like I said, it's a good move. I mean, because Tyron Smith, it's a good signing. He does have an injury history. So if he were to get hurt and you don't have a backup plan, you're pretty much screwed on that side. So, I mean, you can make an argument too. I mean, Troy Fatanu would be a nice fit there too, because he can play on either side of the offensive line.
Yeah, I like Fatano. Yeah, I like Fatano as well because he played guard and tackle, and I almost think he might be better suited to play guard. But I said the same thing about Penei Sewell, so I'm kind of questioned about that. And by the way, Slasher, my buddy Jerry said almost the same exact thing you said, and that's the reason why I was leaning towards Bowers. Or that's why he was leaning towards Bowers. But here's the deal. Don't you want to protect Rodgers? I mean, he's 38, coming off ruptured Achilles.
You have to.
I mean, you
have to protect Rodgers at this age.
Protect Rodgers.
You're and Alt's already on the board. So.
I will bet almost any amount of money Tyron Smith isn't going to play 17 games.
No way.
I would bet almost anything. And so that's why I'm going Fasanu, because Fasanu, I really believe this. If you did like what Keaton says and you take Alt, I think they'll win the job at left tackle. And then Tyron Smith, who's played
you are correct,
right tackle. Yeah, you move Tyron Smith, and then you get some valuable depth in Morgan Moses. So, but Slasher, it doesn't. This is really hard because I really could see Brock Bowers coming in, and then you get Mike Williams. You got Garrett
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. I feel bad, Keaton. I forgot about your Buckeye, man. Don't get mad at me.
I know you're good.
All right. By the way, Keaton Talks Sports said Ohio State will beat Michigan by at least 50 points this year. So Keaton, bet your life savings on the Buckeyes this year. By the way, I want to get you on before college football season starts because the Buckeyes do look loaded this year. So
yeah, no excuses this year.
No, oh God, no. I've seen his name, but the guy from I don't know why I'm drinking energy drinks here. I'm already talking Ohio State here, if you want to go long term, I think if you go short term too, I think you need a guy that can play day one. That's why I like Olufasanu. Perry asked a great question. Could anyone trade up here? Big Chief Shawn here. You're the Jets. You pick at 10. Is there a trade partner? I'm gonna level with you, Perry. I want Big Chief Shawn. The energy drinks are taking over. I'm just here like a motherfucker.
Go ahead. Let them fuel your rage.
I don't think so because the Jets are in win now mode. So I don't think so. The only way that someone would trade up with the Jets is if they offer a player. It would have to be. I think it would.
They're trying to win now. You would have to give them a top tier player.
You would. Yeah, and I just don't see it happening. But I think if you're the Jets, I think the Jets, if anything, would want to trade up, not trade down.
Yeah.
Well, Tyron Smith would play on the right side. That's where he's been playing in Dallas. He played the last several games on the right side because of I'm drawing a blank on the kids. I think it's Tyler Smith. They drafted him out of Tulsa, and he replaced Tyron Smith and played so well. Tyron Smith came back and had to play on the right side. And that's what I think could happen if you draft Fasanu is Tyron Smith would play on the right side. Morgan Moses, who's played left and right tackle, that's your swing tackle, and you want to have quality backup depth on the offensive line. So that's what I would do. The Saints they need to make cap cuts. Actually, the Saints have got everything together. I do think the Saints could trade up to either 9 or 10 for a tackle because
they could. I could see them trading up to 10.
Yeah, I could too. I just don't. You have to give back a player, and I don't know if the Saints really want to do that because if the Saints don't win this year, there's going to be a lot of people out of the job. But
yeah,
I'm not even going to lie. At this point in his career, I think Morgan Moses is better than Tyron Smith. You know what? That's a fair assessment because Morgan Moses played really good on the right side. He really did. So I mean, you may not be wrong, and that's another reason why you want to take Fasanu is because maybe you get Tyron Smith in the training camp, and you're like, I mean, he came into the NFL. I'm drawing a blank where, but I remember he came in at 20 or 21. Maybe he was drafted at 19. He was really young coming out of USC. But I mean, he hasn't played I'm pretty sure he hasn't played a full season since 2015. So
that's why that's a while. That's 2015. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, he plays. He's good. He doesn't play a lot.
Damn.
You can say, by the way, Slasher, say it twice. It's okay. It's okay. Keaton Talks Sports, the only reason he made this trade is because he wants to keep picking with the Patriots, and that's his team. So the Patriots at 11 are on the clock, and it's Keaton's pick again. Keaton, man, your Patriots trade down and didn't pick anybody. What do they want to do here at 11? Are they going quarterback? We talk tackle? Are they going receiver? I mean, what would they do?
So I would go, if I'm the Patriots, I'm definitely going tackle here
Yeah.
because we had one of the worst units in football last year. As you saw, we were ranked 32nd in the offensive line last year. So if I'm the Patriots, look, I mean, you can go multiple different directions. I like Chief Shawn, who obviously I know he's gone. If he's available, I'll definitely go with him. But I mean, dang, Talise Fuega, Troy Fatano, I mean, both of those guys I'm really leaning towards. But if I had to pick, I probably would be going with Talise Fuega out of Oregon State. I just think we need someone like him on the offensive line. Dude's a freaking just a molar on offensive line. Dude's just nasty with his hands, has good hands, and just keeps the quarterback upright. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm definitely going with Talise Fuega here with this pick.
Now, I'm not going to try to dissuade you, but Perry brings up a good question here. He brings up a good question here. What about Brian Thomas Jr.? Are you sure you don't want to take him over Fuega?
I mean, if he's available, man, those both leagues a beast, please. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's more. I mean, because like you said, like Chief Shawn said earlier, I mean, there's plenty of receivers I think in this draft that the Patriots can go. I mean, I don't think receivers are need, but like offense tackle. I mean, it's not going to matter if we don't have the tackle position to protect the quarterback. It's not going to matter who we get at receiver. I think they have to address this, in my opinion, early in the draft. That's what I would do.
All right, I like it. It doesn't. I'm asking. I think I know the answer. I'm going to ask anyway. Does it bother you at all that Fuega only played on the right side in college, and your hole's at left tackle? Are you going to move Owanu over to the left side, or do you tell Fuega, hey, learn left tackle?
That's a good question too. I mean, like I said, I mean, Troy Fatanu is another guy that, like I said, he could play on any on both sides of the offensive line. So I mean, like, I wouldn't mind going him too, but I think Fuega, like you said, just I seen his highlights. But this dude's a beast. I would throw him out. I'm picking Fuega. I think he can definitely adjust here. Nix or Penix here.
I'm thinking, Perry, I really like that too, because I think that the biggest need is quarterback. And I tried to make a move to 5, and they said no. And you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter. But I think that would be a great point, because I'm looking at 2 teams coming up that need quarterbacks. Big Chief Shawn, are you saying no to Fuega? Are you going to veto this pick?
I approve.
I have a hard time saying no too, because I like Fuega a lot.
Yeah,
and I'm just looking at too, like at the Patriots, like it just seems like that's the move they would do. Like it wouldn't surprise me if they went offensive tackle with that pick and then go receiver at 23. It depends on who's available there. So I mean,
by the way, though, you have a whole new regime there in New England. I mean, Bill Belichick's gone. They don't have to do the Patriot way. It's a new day and a new time. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I have a huge man crush on Ramondre Stevenson, and I love the idea of a big, huge offensive line blocking for a 245-pound running back. That to me is a lot of fun. So that's the way I see it. So we'll go with Fuega here. Big Chief Shawn, your Denver Broncos are on the clock here at 12. Man, what do you do?
Oh, I love Denver. You know how much I love Denver. I can't get enough of Denver. Denver is the dream team for anyone.
Oh, God.
But with the recent loss of their quarterback, their 2 starting quarterbacks are, let's say, not worth the time. I know this is crazy. Please forgive me, everyone. I'm not here just to start trouble. All right, I'm going how I think they would go, or the more I know. Position matters, availability matters, but in this case, a quarterback matters. And let me see my list here. I am giving them Bo Nix.
All right, and I'll be honest, I've been mocking Bo Nix.
It's not that big.
No, I've been mocking Bo Nix. We're going to go Bo Nix to Denver, because I've been mocking.
They need it, man. They do. Of many other things they need.
All
Yeah.
right.
Quarterback is definitely one of those things they need.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix to Denver just makes a lot of sense. I can see Denver getting greedy or aggressive. I think is a better word.
Yeah.
Trading up.
I think he'll be available. He's a good quarterback. He's one of the top 10. This is a smart move for Denver to not, this is a nice little rebuild stage for them. So
Well, it's 4. No, 5. No, you're right.
5,
No,
yeah,
no,
5,
no,
yeah.
5. And I'm sorry because hold on here. I've never done this before. Drafted players. So drafted players, yeah, we got 5. I never, you know what? This feature's been here and I've never used it, but we got 5 off the board.
But these teams need them though.
They do. They really do.
Need them though.
They really do. Speaking of quarterback
not on purpose,
teams,
y'all, I swear.
I mean, we got another quarterback needy team here. Keaton, man, you get to wear the silver and black here, man. Pick number 13, the Raiders here. What do you do?
Whew, this is interesting
if I
here.
remember correct, didn't you mock a trade here in your video? Didn't you mock a trade here?
Oh yeah, I did. I had Buffalo trading up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did.
Right.
And it seems crazy.
I don't think that would happen though.
That'd be crazy.
Do you want to do it?
It would be crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Actually, keep I think I remember it. But your trade. Let's hear it.
Hold on, let me get to it. And that's the thing too. I mean, that's 15 spots, so they're gonna have to trade a lot to get to that 13th pick. So I'm giving up 28, 128, a first round pick, and a second.
Ooh, a 2025 second.
2025 second. They're gonna have to make a second.
A lot. Ooh, boy,
it is a lot. Yep.
And you know what? You're the Raiders. You got a new head coach. You got a few holes on that team. Now you did sign Wilkins, which I like, but are you really one guy away from competing with Kansas City? This makes sense for the Raiders. It makes sense for the Raiders. It's a lot though. A 1 and a 4 this year, a 1 and a 2 next year. Wow.
That's a lot.
All right, Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto this?
Oh man, that's a lot. You have to be very confident in this move, Buffalo. Like,
because I'm looking at it from a standpoint, like, okay, Buffalo, you lost Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. You have holes on the defense. You lost what's his name, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. So no, like you can go into multiple different directions, but like if you're Buffalo, I think you have to take a risk here. I don't see because like.
I got the Buffalo part. I'm not sure if I'm the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't know if I can give up this spot right now. I got so many problems.
And I'll tell you why, because if I'm the Raiders, I'm kind of looking right here.
Right here. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm looking at either him or if they want to go cornerback.
The local kid. By the way, Fatananu grew up here in Vegas.
Yeah, that would have been.
That is true. Yeah.
And you traded your starting right tackle left in free agency. And I mean, you got a hole there. You got a hole here. So if you make this trade, are you going to be able to fill up everything? Because I'm thinking the only way you do this,
that is
I'm going to have Minshew start this year, and we're in. By the way, you may be able to get Penix later, but you may not be sold on Penix. The injury issues may be too much. And by the way, there's some good quarterbacks in next year's draft. There's going to be a few good quarterbacks. It may not be 5 or 6 in the first round, but there are going to be some good quarterbacks.
That's true.
Capital.
That's true. Yeah, I probably won't go through. I was just trying to test, like, from Buffalo's standpoint, like, because I know, like, some Bills media I've watched, they were talking about, like, oh, what can we do? Can we trade up in that top 10 and get, like, Brian Thomas or something like that? I was just looking. I'm like, that's interesting. I was like, Wonder what they would give up for that.
Actually, I could see Buffalo doing this because Buffalo could get a starter here in the second round, and out of all this late round picks, they can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get some defensive help because Sean McDermott's an excellent defensive mind. I think he can turn some of these late round picks into starters. You still have Ed Oliver, you have Von Miller, Gregory, Rossano,
Randy Gregory. I don't remember his name.
I can't remember. Guy from Miami University, from the U. I had a big man crush on him. AJ Espinoza, another guy I had a major man crush on. So your defensive line's solid. You got some decent players in that defense, but I actually, so here's the drill. I actually think it makes sense for Buffalo. I'm not sure it makes sense for the Raiders. I was thinking the same thing, Perry. If I would trade up, because here's the deal. I could see Thomas. I'm looking at some of these other teams here in the draft. I don't know if the Saints, Colts, and Seahawks are going to take him. And then who picks 17th? I'm drawing.
You're talking Thomas. Okay.
Yeah, Jacksonville might take him. Jacksonville might, but if I'm the Bills, I would probably look at the Seahawks as a trade here instead.
That's true. Yeah, they could probably trade up. They could probably trade up maybe the 20 or whatever. I mean, something more realistic. But I mean, I guess looking at it right now, I guess if I'm the Raiders, I would probably go. I mean, you could go tackle, you could go cornerback. I mean, I know Quentin Mitchell's linked to go there to the Raiders.
Yeah. I
like that move. I like that move.
Quentin
to the Raiders. Yeah.
They need help at corner. Perry, they drafted one of my draft crushes, Michael Mayer, out of Notre Dame last year, and I really like that kid. Yeah, I've mocked Fatanu, the local kid who grew up in Vegas. I think that would be a great pick. I've been mocking Latham to the Raiders myself because I think the Raiders want to be a smash mouth team, take the massive tackle out of Alabama. But Keaton, man, it's your pick. So it sounds like we dissuaded you against the big Bills trade, but I like the fact that you have Buffalo trading up. And by the way, we have some draft picks at 15 and 17. You could throw that out later. So, you got the envelope, man. Who are you bringing up?
I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'm definitely going quarterback. I'm going with actually, you know what? Oh yeah, Terry Arnold's on the board, isn't he?
Teron Arnold.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
There's a monster. So there's some really good corners in this draft. Terrion Arnold, who a lot of people think is the most upside.
Yeah.
I have a major man crush on Quentin Mitchell.
Yeah, he's very
had a phenomenal pro day coming off of an injury.
Yeah.
Nate Wiggins had that beautiful 4.29. Kool-Aid and Kinstry has some really good tape. You could go either one of these guys. So I mean, there's by the way, what corners are on the board? Everyone's on the board, Perry. There's not any corner off the board. And you know what I like about the Raiders going corner is that the Colts, I was convinced was going to get L'Jarius Sneed from Kansas City. And they didn't. So the Colts are definitely going to look at corner.
Yeah. So I guess to answer your question, I'm going with if Arnold's on the board, I'm going with Terry and Arnold to the Raiders.
I like it a lot. Yes, Chief Shawn. All right, so we're gonna go Terry on Arnold.
I hate it, but as a move, is smart. So
yeah.
Big Chief Shawn, the Saints are on the board at 14. Yeah, we Perry. It's kind of weird. We all like. It fills a hole, but I mean the Raiders still got some holes, but I mean I really like that pick for the Raiders. Big Chief Shawn, the Saints are on the board at 14.
All right. And let me just get to my list here. Okay.
I'll be honest with you, Perry. This isn't a bad choice here because it's funny. They lost Michael Thomas in free agency. So they do have Chris Olave, but they could use a guy like Thomas. Does make some sense. But I'm not going to put words in Big Chief Shawn's mouth. But Perry is putting words in your mouth here, Big Chief Shawn. Perry likes the local kid here.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Well, I said Perry likes the local kid going to the Saints. And this is interesting because the Saints have some holes. They don't have a pick in rounds 3 or 4, but they have 4 fifth-round draft picks. They have the first and the second. I wouldn't think Bowers because they got a lot of tight ends. They need help at edge rusher. They need help at 2 spots on the offensive line. But their starting left tackle, so what happened last year with the Saints is that they drafted Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. He's been a disaster. He was and then Andres Pete, who played guard, they kicked him out the left tackle, and he played better at tackle than he did guard. He's a free agent. So right now, the Saints have 2 holes on that offensive line, but they're talking with Pete. I'll be honest with you, unless he's re-signed and I missed it, I would bet money he's going to be signed. And Penning was a first-round pick. As a matter of fact, it was the 16th pick overall. I think 2 years ago, maybe 3. I mean, he has upside.
I'm looking at so the teams behind the Saints, like the Colts, Seahawks, and the Jags. I know what each team needs. So, like in my mock, I had the Bengals moving up a few spots with the Saints because I had Bowers.
I've been mocking Bowers to the Bengals, and I could see the same exact thing. Is that because the Saints need some picks? Because I think that even if they draft a tackle, I think they need help in the interior as well. So I could see the Bengals being a team. I'm trying to think of other teams that might be interested. I mean,
maybe the Steelers, maybe.
I don't have a hard time. You know what I would love to happen, and it wouldn't happen, but I would love to see the Kansas City Chiefs just say fuck it, let's just go for it and give up an arm and a leg and take Bowers because Kelsey's going to be 35.
Really? He's going to be 35
season.
Yeah. He's playing 50 seasons.
This is a fun fact. Me and Travis Kelce have the same birthday, so it kind of sucks. I go on social media, I see "Happy Birthday," and it's all for Travis. It's all for no Chiefs fans wish me happy birthday.
Sure? But, are you sure about
that?
When is your birthday, by the way?
It's same as Travis Kelce's. Same exact day. It's October 5th.
October.
So I know exactly Travis Kelce turns 35 in October. So I've been mocking like second, third round for the Chiefs, but I would love it if the Chiefs said fuck it and go for Brock Bowers, but I don't see it. Thomas Jr. would fit with Mahomes. I'm excited about Hollywood Brown because he gets drafted by the Ravens, which are a run-heavy team. Then he goes to the Cardinals, and then Murray gets hurt. So now he gets to go with a quarterback with more arm talent than Kyler Murray, which there's not too many. I've been very impressed with Kyler Murray. I don't like his attitude, but arm talent's there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Mahomes is a different level, so I'm kind of excited about the Hollywood Brown. and Mahomes thing. But Brian Thomas Jr. would be a nice fit here. But Big Chief Shawn, Saints at 14. What do you feel like doing? I mean, we got some Thomas offensive.
I got my list ready to go.
All right,
here.
what do you want to do?
I'm gonna do Talise Fuiga. Do I ever say that right?
Oh, he's already off the board.
He's gone.
He's already off the board. Then
He's gone.
If I'm not saying the other one.
Oh, Troy Fatano.
Fatano, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
He's still on.
Are you gonna avoid the Fatano? I'm butchering the name too.
Yeah, I'm doing
Fatanu. I think it's Fatanu.
Yeah, the kid out of
how you say it?
Fatanu. I don't fucking know. The Washington tackle.
I'm just gonna say that's Fatano. But he was still on the board, right?
Yeah, and I like it because if Panning pans out, you just kick him inside. And
yeah, exactly.
You don't. Yeah, I love this pick. Keaton, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I like it. Like I said, I mean, I had who did I have going? Saints go. I had Latham going there in my mock, but like I said, Fatanu is another guy that can play on either side of the offensive line. I mean, that definitely helps their car out. So, yeah, I like that fit there for the Saints.
And by the way, Perry, if the Chiefs, I think by the way, Perry, if the Chiefs do trade up, I do think it's for a left tackle. I don't think it's going to be for Bowers, but it would be fun. It would be entertaining. It would be very, very entertaining. I got pick number 15, and I'm gonna override all vetoes. I'm gonna go Quinton Mitchell here. You need a corner. He's my number one corner. I have a hard time. I have a hard time seeing somebody really arguing with this one, but I'll hear objections. But I'm close to. I got my finger on the button here. Does anyone really think that I shouldn't go Mitchell here? I mean, he's
no need to argue it.
Yeah,
I agree.
Shawn, you got a tough one here. Seattle at 16, no second round pick, a lot of holes. By the way, Denver Gator, who's not here today, he messaged me and texted me several times that the Washington Huskies offensive coordinator is taking over as the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. He's saying that he believes that it's going to be Penix is going to the Seahawks. That's his dark horse pick. I'm throwing that out there. Denver Gators mentioned it multiple times. He said he's too busy today to join the chat because he's on my OnlyFans page. He pays the $99.99.
That actually sounds pretty viable, though.
You know, seriously, I don't hate Penix. If you have if you have a team that's going to go quarterback, and the only team I could think of that's kind of a dark horse would be Seattle. And I mean, you have a brand new regime. Pete Carroll's been there since 2010, 2009?
Something around there.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're going to start a new regime, I can see quarterback. By the way, defensive line makes a lot of sense as well. They did get Leonard Williams signed to a long-term deal. I've been mocking Seattle trading down because their top three linebackers all left in free agency, and they signed. I know they signed. I forget. They signed one starter and kind of one guy who's a backup. Perry, I like a trade down here as well, but
I agree.
On 16, what do you like the Seattle Seahawks doing, man? We threw out some different options here.
You know what? The Penix thing was actually reaching because I was in my mind. I was actually probably going to go with J.C. Latham, but I don't know. Could use a quarterback. I know I'm going so quarterback heavy, but these teams actually need it. Like they don't have any.
I don't know if they really. I don't know, because I'm looking at it from a standpoint like most like the coaching staff that they have is defensive oriented. So Geno Smith is not like he can play. He's not. I mean, he's no scrub. I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad. I mean, I don't know. Seattle's a tough one because they can go multiple different directions here.
Yeah, and that was one of the big things is that John Schneider is now running the show. It's no longer Pete Carroll, and it's kind of even though Schneider's been as the general manager, Pete Carroll's the one who's always had the player control. So it's a new regime, but it's not a new regime. Seattle's always been that weird team in the draft. I could see them doing a lot of different things, but you don't have a second round pick. So I like to trade down personally because you have a defensive minded coach taking over a team with a bad defense that a lot of linebackers leave. I'm looking at it. What I'm going to throw this out there because this is what I've been mocking. I got to trade too. All right, let me ask you this, Keaton. Who's your trade partner?
So I had Miami trading up to 20. Was it? Were they at 21? Right? Yeah, 21 to Seattle. So I mean, I was thinking of Seattle can get picks 21, 158, and a second for 16.
Okay. I'm gonna throw out my trade. Best player available, Bowers or trade down. Miami doesn't have a pick in rounds 3 or 4, and Miami they lost a lot of free agents. Green Bay has an extra pick in rounds 2 and 3, and they have a massive hole at left tackle. Bacardi, yeah, and I've been mocking the same thing. Trade, by the way, Slasher. By the way, it's an excellent trade. That was about where I stopped watching this video. I got kind of tied up, but that's like where I finished it. Is that it makes sense. The only thing I have against it is I see Miami trying to get more draft picks because they don't have a pick in rounds 3 or 4. Slasher, I don't hate a trade with Philly because Philly has an extra second round pick. I've been mocking a trade with Green Bay because Green Bay has 2 picks in the second round. It's kind of a mid-win. Yeah. And that's what I've been mocking. And if you really wanted to play hardball, you could always, if you wanted to, instead of the second round pick, you can do 2/3 instead. But I think a first and a second. Green Bay picks at 25. It's not that far of a trade, but anyway, Big Chief Shawn, I think we threw like 15 things at you, man.
Yeah, there's so many things that they need right now. It's like, to be honest with y'all, there's not like really a bad answer. You know what I mean? Like, because they could use a whole lot of help. But I think, man.
It's
so many problems, man. Just, I mean, that would be the easiest answer. Man.
I'm hearing a lot of edge rush. I'm hearing a lot of offensive tackle at this pick.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, Seattle could do a variety of different.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do. They need it though. I'm going Jared Verse, man.
All right. I mean, we're gonna go Jared Verse. Hey, Keaton, are you gonna veto Jared Verse?
No, I mean, if he's available, because like that's the thing too is some people had him going inside the top 10 to Atlanta or Chicago. So like, if he falls down this far, I mean, Seattle definitely take him at. I mean, because they definitely need to improve on that at that position.
I mean, sure. I like
they'll do the trenches.
What's the kid? Boy Mafe out of Washington. They got Nawasu, something like that. But I mean, Verse is the guy I have rated higher. And then look, if we want to just draft defensive guys, let's do Verse. So we're going to go. Seattle's going to go with Jared Verse here. Trading down makes sense if they want Ben. Yeah, Perry, somebody, big or Denver Gators been adamant that Seattle's gonna throw a wrench and go ahead and go with Penix. I'm not sure I'm buying onto that. If anything, I think Sam Howell, who they got this offseason,
Yeah, they got him too. How about that?
Yeah, they got Sam Howell. I wouldn't be surprised. Draymond, and by the way, Slasher, you're 100% correct. Draymond Jones is kind of overwhelming. Need the other guys. Yeah, they got Nawasu, who I like. I have Verse rated higher than Mafe and Nawasu. I had, by the way, in my mock draft, Slasher before the DUI, I had Seattle trading out of round 1, taking an inside linebacker because they need one. And there's really not an inside linebacker you want to take in the first round unless you're convinced Peyton Wilson's going to stay healthy. Taking Devondre Sweat, the massive tackle out of Texas, at 58. They traded down to get 58, but Sweat just got nailed for DUI. Not a good thing to do a couple weeks before the draft, but a guy like Devondre Sweat might be available in the 3rd round. He is meeting with Seattle actually this week, but they need to get that DUI cleared up. By the way, because it happened before he became an NFL player, he won't be subject to the personal conduct policy, so he'll be able to play in full. But look, getting a DUI a couple weeks before the draft is just dumb.
Yeah.
I think I ranted enough there. All right, Keaton, 17. Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock here, man.
All right. So this is interesting here because I'm hearing a lot of mocks that they have corner going here, which I do agree with this just because they, especially towards the end of last year, they really struggled to stop people on that side. So if I'm looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going, who's on the board here for cornerback? I'm going with Quinton Mitchell. Oh, yeah, no, he's already off the board, isn't he?
No, he's off. Yeah, I took.
Oh, he's off the board. Oh, okay, I forgot about that.
By the way, Perry, I agree with you because Peyton Wilson's got injury issues and Slasher. I by the way, Adrian Cooper's a guy I've been really, 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 really high on. But I will say this here, depending on Cooper DeJean just had a phenomenal pro day. You got Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry. By the way, some of these ratings I don't agree with, but Rakeshaw at 37, I do agree with. As Rakeshaw's, in my opinion, a fringe first rounder. If I'm Jacksonville, I would be really hard pressed if I called him a first round pick. But if Keaton, if you want corner here, you got DeJean, you got Wiggins, you got McKinstry. If you want to throw Rakestraw in there, you can, but he wouldn't be on my board personally.
Yeah, so looking at the year Nate Wiggins had last year, like he has the side. I mean, if I'm looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, just with the personnel they already have on that side, I mean, I'm looking more towards Nate Wiggins with this pick.
All right, I'll be honest with you, I kind of like that as well, and not only that, I see like Philly. I've mocked Wiggins to Philly, which picks at 22.
Yeah.
I mean, so Wiggins is not going to be around too much longer. I could also see Cincinnati grabbing Wiggins as well. So I really like that pick. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto Nate Wiggins going to Jacksonville?
It sounds like a good pick. I like it.
I like it too. All right, Big Chief Shawn, your Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock here at 18.
That's good.
Well, I've done some thinking on this one, and I think if he's available on the block, they need it. So I'm going with Newton, Drazon Newton.
Oh, a little defensive line help. I kind of like. You know what? I like it, but Keaton, man, you wanna veto Deshaun Newton, defensive tackle out of Illinois.
Whew. It's not a bad pick. What offensive tackles are left? Because I'm looking at from a standpoint like the Bengals, they had the majority of their offense there outside of who they lose?
Well, they got your boy Trent Jones.
Trent Brown.
Brown.
Trent Brown.
I'm sorry, I said
Brown,
yeah. They got
Yeah,
the 700 pounds of we'll call it muscle on the outside there. But I mean, you know, I think he signed a 1-year deal, and Orlando Brown Jr. didn't really set the world on fire at left tackle. Perry asked a good question: can anyone trade up here? J.C. Latham, I actually don't.
He was actually one of my 2 picks.
J.C. Latham.
J.C. Latham.
Yeah,
I don't hate that either, but I'm sorry. But Jazon Newton, I don't hate that at all.
It's not a bad pick.
Really don't.
I think his game too, like given his skill set, I think his game fits in that division too.
I mean, you did take a drop on defense last year. I don't hate this at all here. Keaton, are you going to veto Jazon Newton?
I mean, like I said, if you're looking towards the defense, I mean, I don't see how you don't pick him, but you can't go wrong with going offensive tackle as well, just because, like I said, I mean, Joe Burrow's your franchise guy, and he obviously he's taken a lot of hits throughout his career. So, I mean, if the Bengals are looking to get to the Super Bowl, then it all starts with the trenches. You got to protect your quarterback. But, I mean, it's tough. I don't know. John Newton's a good player, too. I don't see how you –
I don't hate Newton. I'm going to level with you. If Brock Bowers is available at 18 and Cincinnati as a whole at tight end, they signed Gesicki to a 1-year deal. Gesicki,
you know what I think?
Gesicki's just not been
able. I am going to go with J.C. Latham. I think I'm going to change that.
You think you're going to change it? Are you sure? Because I kind of like Newton.
I know, but it would be more logically so because, like he said,
well, let me ask
the guy.
Here.
He is the guy.
Gary asked a great question because Bowers is free falling. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if somebody said, "Hey, Bowers is free falling."
He's off the board. Oh, I didn't know he's on the board.
Brock Bowers is available. Would anyone trade up? Because I've been mocking Bowers. In every mock draft I've had, Bowers can't fall below 18. Wow. But Harry, I agree with you. But you signed Trent Brown, your interior offensive line. Because here's what I would do if I was Cincinnati. I would use a second or third or second and third on offensive linemen, and I would go tackle. I'm drawing a blank on the kid's name.
Bowers is still on the board.
Look it up here. This kid, Blake Fisher.
Blake Fisher, yeah.
I would take him in the third, and then I would take one of the interior offensive linemen.
Yeah, y'all blowing my mind. I didn't even pay attention that Bowers was still on the board.
This is the guy I actually really like, Cedric Van Pren. Cincinnati could probably get him late in the second, but
could you imagine?
Brock Bowers. This would be my pick. I mean, I have a hard time thinking that he's going to be available, but this would be my pick. If you want to go Newton, I'm not going to hold you back. But
no. Actually, that didn't act because that would be the more logical choice. That would add.
Seriously though.
But I think I'm going to start with J.C. Latham.
Miami. I could see Miami trying to make a move here. I don't think the Bengals would trade with the Chiefs.
No, they would never do that.
They would never do that.
They would never do that.
Yeah.
They would. They really wouldn't. But I mean, I'm trying to think here. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to go to my chart here. Is there a team like even though Ferguson played really well with?
I was just about to say the Cow. I was just about to say the Cow.
Yeah, I can see a team
Cowboys
was having some fun.
But
I mean, everybody would hate this, but your Patriots are available at 23. Maybe they want to get creative with that extra draft capital they got from Minnesota. But Big Chief Shawn, are you Newton? Are you with Bowers? What about a trade? The TCU tight end in round 3 is interesting. I also think the kid I can't think of his first name, Sanders, the tight end out of Texas, is very, very interesting.
I think it's Jones. I can't remember his name. I know
And then the kid from Theo Johnson from Penn State just had the
Penn State.
combine from hell. I mean, 6'6", like 260 ran. I think it was a 4.59 at 260.
4.59. Dang. Okay.
It was 4.59 or 4.58. It was something ridiculous. And the thing is, I watched Penn State play several times, and his play never stood out. But when you're that big and that fast, the kid out of K-State's a guy also I've been kind of liking. Johnny Wilson, he played receiver at Florida State. He'll have to play tight end in the pros. But anyway, did we talk you into Brock Bowers here at 10, or is that a partner?
Kind of. Because that would definitely make sense to add more strength to that offense that they already have. But I think JC is what they need. They need offensive protection. Like Burrow won't do if he can't stay in the game. They won't win. Yeah. So I have to stick with that. Even though you're right, Bowers shouldn't go this low, but they need Latham, dude.
You're okay. So we're going to go JC Latham.
Yes.
All right.
They need that.
Are you going to override JC Latham here?
Not at all. I mean, like I've been saying this, they need protection as well. I mean, you saw Burrow
teams.
I love it. I love it. Now, you know what? I can't believe we're doing this here. So JC Latham's going to be the pick. I love it. The Bears are on the clock here, and are you going to pull the trigger on Brock Bowers? Is there going to be a trade? I mean, you got Cole Kmet, who's a guy I really liked out of Notre Dame, and he had a good year last year. But I mean, you could do 100 different things here, Keaton.
That's what I'm saying, literally.
I mean, you really could. I mean, let's look at some of these teams here. Your Patriots are available. I could see the Patriots making a move for Bowers. Dallas at 24. I really think Kansas City might take a hard look. Baltimore would probably say no. Same thing with San Francisco. Who traded? Did Buffalo trade up yet? I know they got 2 tight ends already, but that would be a guy. That would be a team. I know Arizona drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., but Arizona has a ton of draft picks. They got Trey McBride. I forgot about him. I really like him.
Yeah. So this is tough, man. I actually could see the Patriots trading up for him. I mean, I'm thinking of the teams that are left. The team needs.
By the way, Perry, there's some really good offensive tackles still on the board here. Marius Mims, who a lot of people think should be gone. I've had Tyler Guyton gone at 16. I had the Packers trading up for Guyton, who I think if Green Bay traded up for Guyton, he would be the day one starter on the left side. A lot of people have Jordan Morgan rated higher in this group. I have Kingsley Seta-Matea rated higher and Patrick Paul. Patrick Paul, somebody turned me on to him recently, and this dude's very, 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 very impressive. I'm not going to guess at the Yale tackle's name, but he'll go not in the first round, but he'll go in the second early. And once he gets used to the NFL speed and athleticism, he'll be a really good starter. Probably at right tackle. Interesting story. He's from Nigeria, so Power Jackson could go there. Right. I mean, there's a lot of things that. I mean, Chicago. By the way, we talked about Dallas Turner going here. Leatu would be fantastic for the Bears. I mean, I'm doing
that's what I was.
Murphy. God, there's so many. Jackson Powers Johnson. This would be a good one, Perry. That would be a good one. I'm sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is so tough. I don't know what the Bears, because like got your quarterback set already. Let's see. Dang.
I mean, you need help on the interior. Bowers should not be available, but we got him here. The Jeans.
Gene too. I mean, dang.
Oh God, Cooper DeJean would be great in this secondary because I mean he could play corner, he could play safety. You could get very creative. I actually tell you the truth, in Chicago, I think he'd be a safety. But
all right. What defensive tackles are left here? Because
we got them all. We got them all. We got Byron Murphy. We got Jazon Newton, Braden Fisk, who I don't think belongs at 41. Devondre Sweat's a guy that DUI really bothers me. By the way, these two right here, Mason Smith, and these are way too low for these two guys. Mason Smith, there's been some talk about him going in the first round. I'm butchering that name. He ran like a 4.84 at 294 he weighed, I think, 294 and ran a 4.84 or 4.89. I think he's from Nigeria. He's just learning how to play football. He's a monster. These two guys, Michael Hall Jr. and Leonard Taylor. Leonard Taylor's a former 5-star player who just has massive upside, but kind of disappears. And Michael Hall Jr., if he was 2 inches taller, would probably be in the first round. But
you know what? I'm thinking about I might make a trade here. I might make a trade because, like you said, Bowers should not be this far down. But I'm looking at a team like the Patriots who need offense.
Oh no, nobody. By the way, nobody wants to see the Patriots get a quarterback in Bowers. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But hey, look, it's your trade here. The Patriots picking at 23. What would be your trade here?
Shoot, what are they at 19?
Let's see here. Let's put it together here. Let's put it together. Let's pull these two teams up. So the Patriots pick 23, 34, 68, and 103. Chicago picks at 19. If you use the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, I'm using the Jimmy Johnson one. I think you used the Rich Hill one. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with that one, but I'm using that one. If you use the Jimmy Johnson one, pick 103 in the 4th round would be it probably wouldn't be enough, but the 3rd round pick would be too much. The 4th round pick would be too much. So you're kind of you might have to get a little creative here. By the way, Perry, I love Fisk and I want him in the 1st round. And by the way, Slasher, yes, I think the Bears could. By the way, Latu, I would really, really strongly consider that. And you're right, they were trying to get Josh Sweat as well. And I forgot that Sweat restructured to stay in Philly. Smart move by Sweat.
That's tough.
And by the way, Slasher, yeah, I think the Bears could trade down twice because they only have 4 draft picks. And they need help on the interior offensive line big time. They need help at guard and center. There's not really a guy that you would want to take until right around now, which you could go Jackson Powers Johnson. You can go Grant Bartram. You can go with the kid out of West Virginia. Would make a lot of sense. Yeah, the Bears could get some more draft capital. That's actually something interesting to know. When's the last time a team traded down twice in the 1st round? I'm not really sure. I know Minnesota traded down. I know they traded down with the Bears, but I think Minnesota traded down 12 to 32, and I think they traded 32 down to. I think it was Minnesota 2 years ago because they traded 32 down to 45, if I remember correctly. I might just be making that up, though.
Yeah. Let me do a trade here. Obviously, 23-19.
That's a tough one because, it's a real tough one. And like I said, I'm not familiar with the Rich Hill chart, but 3 would be probably too much. 4 not enough.
Maybe.
And by the way, nobody wants the Patriots to get Bowers.
Yeah. Dang, I don't know, man. If it's actually smart if you want to trade, sure. From next
You know what would be a much better trade partner would be your Chiefs right here, and we can get the Chiefs to get Bowers. That would be much better.
I mean, they could.
Yeah, that would never happen.
It wouldn't happen. I don't think Chiefs Kingdom would like that. But I mean, there's some other teams that could be.
Oh, you know what? No, hold up. Hold on. One. Dolphins are 21. Actually, yeah. No, the Bears. No.
Let me throw out another team that has some extra draft picks that you haven't mentioned yet. But what about the Carolina Panthers? They have picks 39 and 33.
That's true. Yeah.
And they if you need somebody who needs some receiver help, it's poor Bryce Young. I mean, they had Johnson.
That is true. I'm trying to think. That's a lot. They 32 to 19.
By the way, Slasher, I agree with you because I love Noah Gray. I have no idea why he doesn't play more, but I'm a big Noah Gray fan. I'm kind of just fucking with Keaton here. But by the way, here's another guy, Brian Thomas Jr. Is another guy. Probably a lot of people, even though he's 18 on this list, I think he's low on this list. But yeah, because I mean, I can see Latu.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I don't think Brock Bowers makes sense. They need help on. They need someone on the offensive side of Sweat. Yeah, I mean,
Miami might make sense too. I mean, Miami lacks draft capital, but
yeah. Jeez.
I just threw out like 9 teams. And what about the Lions? They want a corner bad, right? Yeah, you know what? Cooper DeJean, Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think it's way too high for Rakestraw, but
let me trade. Actually, let me see what the Dolphins. I might trade back with them because I'm hearing a lot of.
So Miami has only a first and a second. Chicago has the second round pick from. I'm just drawing a complete blank, but they have 2 number 2s.
I think it probably wouldn't take much to trade up 2 spots.
I have a hard time thinking 158 would be enough.
No.
If you're dead set on Miami, you would probably need like a 2025 third. But I mean, would Chicago really want to do that? Dallas could be a team. By the way, Slasher, I could easily see Detroit making a move, right? I could see Detroit making a move, but I'd have a hard time seeing the Bears helping the Lions out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So,
Let me trade with the Dolphins because I'm looking at the team like the Dolphins. They're like a team that's going all in. Obviously, they still have. I mean, they're still trying to figure out the Tua situation with his contract.
Yeah, that's another thing is that there's a YouTuber who I'd love to get back on again. He's not a Tua guy, and I would love to see Miami not give. If I'm Miami, I wouldn't give Tua $250 million. I would draft Penny.
And I was just thinking about that too, because
You know what? Is there a team out there? That would want to trade up for Penix?
I mean,
Dolphins make sense.
The Dolphins could actually do that because I've heard some people saying like they could start over at that position because they don't think Tua, like I said, Penix is the dude that can throw the deep ball. And when you watch Tua throw the ball deep, you see a lot of Tyreek Hill having to turn back around.
You see that a lot.
Yeah.
And by the way, a special shout out to Pete Takes, who's my resident Dolphins fan. He came on last year when the Chiefs played the Dolphins in Germany, and he said the same thing. And I was kind of surprised because I thought I was the only one who thought that Miami would be making a mistake giving Tua 250 or 270 million over the next 4 or 5 years. And he's like, no, if you get a young quarterback, we can keep everybody, but they got rid of everybody. So,
Slasher,
you're 100% correct. And by the way, Washington doesn't have a left tackle, and you just draft the quarterback number 2, and I just we've already overloaded Keaton here, but Nix is already off the board. But I'm going to throw this out there: Washington has picks 36 and 40. They have a whole left tackle. They just got Jaden Daniels. You got Mims. You got Guyton. You got Morgan. We already overloaded you though.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna make a decision here. So I'm gonna.
I got Miami, but I can put.
I'm gonna have to. I think Brock Bowers should already be off the board. I mean, I'm looking at.
I know that's a cool thing about the draft. You never know, but Bowers, that's a tough one. By the way, yeah, and by the way, if I'm Chicago, I would love to pick 36 and 40 because I would easily. You can get an edge rusher and an interior offensive guy at 36 and 40. You easily could do that, and I love it. I actually, if you watched my latest mock, watch it. Keaton was adamant that my mock draft was much better than his. In my mock draft, I have Washington making a massive trade and going all the way up to 9 to draft Joe Alt.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think I know who I'm gonna go with now.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go Brock. No, I'm not gonna trade. I'm gonna keep the Bears there. No trade.
And you're taking Bowers?
I'm taking Bowers.
Oh, I love it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Love it. Oh, so you
because
got Ultimate, you got Bowers, you got Keenan Allen, you got DJ Moore.
Yeah,
why not?
you just turned Chicago
because
into a super.
The thing is, like what you said earlier, like Bears have phenomenal offseason. I know Kmet is your guy, but like, why not have a 1-2 punch of him and Bowers? Like, takes pressure off of, not have to worry about Kmet. Now you have to worry about Bowers on the outside. And then you got to worry about Keenan Allen. So, like, who do you key on as a defense? So, I mean, like, Caleb Williams is getting a whole bunch of help here. I think it makes a bunch of sense, in my opinion. I don't know why it took me that long to pick. I was, like, trying to figure out, do they need defense? Or, I mean, Bowers should be gone at this point. So, I mean, if he's available, Bears take him.
Yeah. I am picking at 20, and I'm going to call my buddy Keaton up here, and I'm going to say, listen, Keaton, look, I know for an absolute fact you want to trade up. I know for an absolute fact you want to trade up to 20. I know this because you would love that Brian Thomas Jr. here. I know that you want Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, come on, let's take a look. Let's take a look at your New England Patriots here, and oh look, you don't have a receiver. Or wait a minute, maybe but Michael Penix Jr. here. So I'm picking 20 for the Steelers. All right. I'm calling you up and I'm like, man, but you know what? If you say no, all right, let's just say you say no. I know a certain team where I'm located at here in beautiful Las Vegas that would love to give me a 2 and a 3 for pick number 20.
Ooh.
And you know who they would take? They would take a quarterback, but I mean, I'm calling you up and like, hey, what do you want to? You want to move up a couple picks?
Dang, that's interesting.
I mean, look at who's available here. If you're the Patriots, you got Brian Thomas. You need a left tackle. Or no, I'm sorry, you already got your left tackle. So you need help at receiver. Right, you got Brian Thomas Jr. right there. Somebody may want Michael Penix Jr. I mean,
that's true. Nah, but
I mean,
I'm looking at the Steelers though. Like Perry just nailed it. I mean, they don't have a center on the roster.
All right, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, Perry. You kind of ruined it for me. That I don't want to trade with the Raiders because I want to take Jackson Powers. I don't think Miami's going to take him. I know Philly's not going to take him, but 20, I can con New England out of some picks, and I don't see that because the kid out of Nebraska, Cam Jurgens, that's a guy that they kind of. But yeah, I'm trying to con Keaton. You ruined it for me, Perry, but I'm trying to con Keaton into giving me a fourth or a third next year. But you ruined it for me. So since you ruined it for me, I'm going to take Jackson Powers Johnson. I'm just going to go ahead and go. So you ruined it for me, but
it's the right pick. I mean, it's the right pick. I mean, that's the dude you can build upon for the next 10, 15 years. I mean, that's
right.
It is. I was yeah, you ruined it. Yeah, but the Patriots organization's probably too smart for that. We got Miami at 21, Keaton. Man, a lot of defections here, but I'm gonna throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of speed at receiver, but I mean, you don't have a lot of size, and you got two at the weak arm. I mean, you also have the guy with the big arm. Throwing it out there. Dolphins also, if we saw earlier when we did the trade here, Miami really, really, really needs draft picks.
That's true.
And I know that's a tough one, Barry. I'm giving Keaton all the tough ones here. I'm making it hard.
Now, so I'm looking at the situation here with Tua. So I know there's a lot of Dolphins fans that are like on one end of the spectrum, like they think Tua is the guy, they don't think he's the guy, all this stuff like that. But I'm like, if they're in the middle of trying to give him an extension, why is it taking this long for them to give him the extension? Because if he would have gotten an extension, they would have gave it to him a minute ago. So now I'm looking at a situation like, okay, maybe the Dolphins don't believe in Tua. Maybe they don't think he's the guy because they do have talent on the raw. I mean, you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Wall on offense. Maybe they just don't think the quarterback is the right.
Yeah, we never talked about it, but a guy like Tua would have been a better fit in Denver than a rookie. You also have a situation that maybe Tua in Vegas might not be a bad spot, or maybe Tua in Seattle. I'm throwing out some different scenarios there, but
yeah, I mean, that's tough. But like I said, I mean, if they were looking to give Tua the extension, I think they would have done it already. So I might have to go on a limb here. Yeah, I might have to go with Mr. Michael Penix here.
All right, Michael Penix Jr., the sixth quarterback off the board for the Miami Dolphins here. Perry likes it. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto Michael Penix?
Ooh. But Worthy, though, the only thing is catching. He's got to work on his catching. I don't know, man. But
yeah, I know. I was toying around with that too. Actually, to tell you the truth, Slasher, I was originally thinking Wiggins, and then he would be the slow guy.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe a guy who runs a 4.29 to be slow. But Big Chief Shawn, how do you feel Michael Penix Jr. is the pick to Miami at 21? And who knows? And then, by the way, Tua, they'd have to move Tua somewhere, but that would be interesting.
That sounds brilliant. I mean, offensively, this would help the team. I'm all for it.
I really like it here. I love it. Michael Penix Jr., the surprise pick to Miami at 21, and Tua gets traded for a bag of chips somewhere.
I just think, like you said, like Penix is a dude that, like I said, he has a strong arm compared to, I mean, like I said, a lot of Tua's throws last year, Waddle and Hill had to turn back and catch. Like
I saw
Penix can throw and then catch. He can throw and then Duke can still be in stride.
I 100% agree with you. And the best part is that if you do it now, you could probably get some good trade capital from a team, maybe some team like Vegas, maybe Seattle. I mean, we'd have to take a look, but I actually really like it. This is like Jalen Hurts being drafted and Carson Wentz thinks his job security is still safe because, yeah, exactly. I mean, you could just draft. You could say, hey, I love it too. This whole reason we have the mock draft is that unexpected things happen, and I love it. Big Chief Shawn, Eagles are on the board at 22. What do you do?
I've already made my choice since we've been talking so much about. I'm going with Quinion Mitchell. Is he still on the board?
Is who?
Quinion Mitchell.
I think he's off the board. I think wasn't he to the Colts?
Yeah. Quentin Mitchell's off the board.
He's off the board.
And
He's off the board.
Yeah.
I'm going Cooper DeJean.
I love it.
I can't really argue with it. You need a corner. He's the best one on this board. I could argue Kool-Aid might be a better fit, but I'm not going to hate it here. The worst team here, the Patriots. No, I'm playing. I'm sorry. All right, so we're back. We're back with the Patriots here at 23. They went ahead and traded down at pick 11, Talise Fuega. They gave up a second-round pick this year and a 2024 first and a 2025 first for Tua. So, I'm just
hey, anything I'll upgrade over what we have so far. I mean,
hey, seriously, if you're Miami and you draft Penix, maybe Tua goes to New England.
This is no brainer.
So anyway, bad joke. So your Patriots are at 23. Unless you want to go Spencer Rattler or somebody else, quarterbacks off the board. Yeah, I didn't think about it. So by the way, Slasher, if DeJean goes to Philly, I 100% think he plays corner. But
if who goes to Philly?
Yeah, Cooper DeJean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think he plays corner, but he could play safety. You never know. You can have some fun there. I love
top player.
Fangio gets a nice toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So for the Patriots, like I said earlier, Patriots need wide receiver. We had one of the worst receivers in the league in terms of separation. So like I said, Brian Thomas Jr. is a no-brainer pick. I like him at the Patriots. Definitely.
I can't argue that at all.
Yeah.
You want to argue Brian Thomas Jr. here?
Yeah. And if he's not available, A.D. Mitchell is another guy I would go with too. If Thomas Jr. was picked early.
By the way, Slasher, you're 100% correct. I love the pick. I think you put him at corner, but you could easily flip-flop these two guys around. I think it's a great pick. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto Brian Thomas Jr. to the Patriots?
No, that actually sounds like a pretty good fit.
No, I think it's a great fit. Pick number 24, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock here. Man, who do you like here, Big Chief Shawn, for the Cowboys?
I think this is just a shout out to all Dallas fans. If there are any out there listening, and I know you saw the board, I know you're a little pissed off, and that's fair. But I'm going to try to do the best I can do for you here. I'm going to go with Spencer Rattler because this may be Dak's last season as a quarterback.
Oh my God! Spencer Rattler in round one. Holy shit!
No, here's the thing. Because I've heard rumors like they could be Dak Prescott's last year.
It is. So his contract, they didn't renegotiate.
They did not.
They did not.
He's the last one on the board. Like he's still on the board.
Rattler is riding up through the boards, and Slasher loves it. Keaton, are you going to veto this?
Not really. That's not bad. It's hard to say no. Like I said, I don't see Dallas like. I know they've been linked to get like Amarius Mims or some offense tackle, but I don't know. That seems like a good pick in my opinion.
We're gonna do it. Spencer Rattler, the surprise pick of the draft. Rattler, by the way, if I remember right, I think he's from the Dallas area because he originally played at Oklahoma, got beat. There's nothing wrong getting beat out by Caleb Williams. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Played well at South Carolina. I don't think he's a first-round pick, but Dallas does some crazy shit here. Spencer Rattler, the surprise pick in the draft, goes to Dallas. I'm on the board at 25. And by the way, Tyler Guyton had a visit this week to Green Bay. And by all accounts, Green Bay fell head over heels in love with him. So Tyler Guyton is going to be my pick. I think he's the day one starter at left tackle. I think this is a no-brainer. Yeah. If you guys want to veto this, I'm okay, but I have a hard time saying no to this one.
No, I agree. I had him going here. Like I said, he's already visited them twice. I mean, I think it's no brainer in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I have a hard time saying no to that.
Best tackle for Love for sure.
I think so too. I think he starts immediately at left tackle. I think it's a no-brainer. Big Chief Shawn, Tampa Bay at 26.
He's still up there. I believe that they need defense. So I think it'd be a smart move to pick up Kool-Aid.
Slasher asks, is Florida State quarterback Jordan Travis still coming out of the draft this year? He is. He's actually he's rated 144 on this board. There was something about him. I don't know if I think it's an injury issue, but that's the only thing really. There's some really good tape. Jordan Travis is a guy I think that some team may take in rounds 4 or 5. If I remember right, he got injured late in the year, and that's kind of a big reason. But he's a guy that is coming out to the draft, but he's probably not going to go in the first couple of rounds. Big Chief Shawn, I'm sorry. Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Yep.
All right. Keaton, do you have a veto for Kool-Aid?
I mean, it's not a bad selection. I mean, I had Leatu going there because I think they need edge, but they also need help at corner. So I think either one of those guys would fit in perfectly there.
I agree. I would probably go Leatu, but I don't hate Kool-Aid at all. You need help at corner.
Yeah,
Kool-Aid's a day one starter all day. Where if you draft Leatu, does you have Joe Tyron? I forgot it's Tyron's hyphen. And then last year they drafted Yaya Darby in the 3rd round, and he ended up I think with 8.5 or 9.5 sacks. Yeah, Carlton Davis is gone, so Kool-Aid McKinstry. We're going to go with that as the pick to Tampa Bay, And Keaton here, we got the Cardinals are back on the board at pick number 27. They went Marvin Harrison Jr. earlier in the draft. Who do you have them taken here?
So you got your guy in the first or with the 4th pick and was it Marvin Harrison? Yeah, so you're pretty much good on there. You're pretty much good there at wide receiver. This team was one of the worst last year in terms of trying to get pressure on the quarterback. So they need help at edge or defensive line. So I'm going with Byron Murphy here.
Okay. Big Chief Shawn, you on veto Brian Murphy?
No, that's actually a perfect fit for them.
No, I like it as well. You got to get it. I think it's whoever is your highest rated guy. With Byron Murphy, you don't have to worry about injury issues. I really like this a lot. You're bad against the run. You're bad getting after the passer. So I really, really like this pick here. I could see Latu as well. The only reason why Latu's not a slam dunk would be he's got some medical issues. Fisk would not be bad either. Fisk is a guy I'm really, really high on. Big Chief Shawn, your Buffalo Bills are on the clock here at 28.
I am going to go. I think I'm going defensive minded here because I think that's what they're lacking. I'm going with Chop Robinson.
Chop Robinson. Now this is interesting because, by the way, Keaton, are you gonna veto Chop Robinson here?
No, I mean, like I said, I think a lot of people have had him slipping out of the first round. I mean, I just think that's kind of crazy. I mean,
yeah,
the dude has first round material. I mean, just go watch his highlights. I mean, you really had to put a lot of attention on him.
He learns behind Von Miller, and Von Miller's clearly lost the step. So I think this is a great situation. I would go defensive tackle Perry myself, but I don't hate Chop Robinson here. So we're gonna go Chop Robinson. Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
the Detroit Lions are on the board here. The Slasher says Latu is not realistically falling this far, though. He's the most proven edge in this draft in terms of production. He's got motive for days. Yeah, and by the way, Slasher, every year there's a player that falls in the draft that people just don't see. By the way, take a look at Nolan Smith. I mean, I thought Nolan Smith could have gone between 10 and 15. He went to 30, and a lot of it was the shoulder issue. But I mean, players fall in the draft all the time. But yeah, I agree with you. If Layatu, who I've mocked several times going to Chicago at 9, is available, yeah, you're 100% correct. But I'm not going to put words in Keaton's mouth. I feel like I already did. But Keaton, 29, the Detroit Lions are on the board. We got a lot of Lions fans here, so don't fuck this up.
This is awesome. Okay, so I mean, this is obvious. I mean, they need help on defense. I mean, look at their team last year. Their offense, like I said, was one of the best in football. I mean, they were putting up points, week in, week out, but their defense just couldn't get anyone off the field. So I'm going with Jason Newton here.
Jason Newton, I kind of like it here. Big Chief Shawn, are you going to veto Jason Newton?
Oh no, that's a good pick right there. I like it.
No, I kind of like it. By the way, Perry, I would do Latu as well, but with Jason Newton, you get interior pressure, something that you need. They did add a reader from Cincinnati, but he's more of a space eater. This is a guy that can get you interior pressure. A couple of years ago, they drafted Levi Ozarike, and he's just been a bust. So Jason Newton fits a nice need here. I'm the Baltimore Ravens. I'm picking 30. To me, this is easy. I'm taking Amarius Mims. I may want to take Latu, but look, Morgan Moses. I traded Morgan Moses away. I got Daniel Falahu, the 6'9", 390-pound tackle out of Minnesota. Mims is a different type of dude, though. I think you have to take Mims here if you're Baltimore. You have the upside. You know what? I can even argue a trade here for a guy like Latu, but if I'm Baltimore, I'm taking Mims here. Keaton, are you going to argue with Mims going to Baltimore?
No, I like it. I mean, like I said, I mean, Ravens are a team that's run oriented, team that likes to. John Harbaugh likes to build to the trenches. So I mean, I like this pick here. I mean, Paul also wouldn't be a bad selection as well if he were to go that high in the first round.
Yeah, I could maybe see that. I think Paul's more of a left tackle, but I mean Mims. I love this. I love the Mims here, but Paul would also make a lot of sense. I'm a lot higher on Paul than a lot of people, but if you're the Ravens, you can roll the dice here, especially at 30. A lot of people think Mims already be gone, so that's going to be the pick here. So pick number 31, the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock here. Keaton, what's going to happen?
All right, so they can go in multiple different directions. I mean, you can go offensive line, obviously. You can go cornerback. But I'm looking at a situation. Chase Young, is Chase Young still at the 49ers?
No, he's with the Saints.
Okay.
But the 49ers added the 49ers added somebody, and I'm just drawing the complete blank. They added somebody. They also drafted Drake Jackson out of USC a couple of years ago, and he's going to be the starter opposite of
he's right.
Leonard Floyd. That's it.
Floyd, yeah.
Yeah, and they also got Yader Gross-Matos, who never really panned out in Carolina, but he was a guy really, really, really liked. By the way, I would, seriously, I'm giving Keaton such a hard time here because Latu is way too much value. Take a look at some of these teams picking early in the second round. You're looking, Carolina could use him. Carolina needs defensive help bad. Paul would make a lot of sense. I'll throw out a dark horse here that would probably, well, actually, no, Brian Burns. I was going to say the Giants, but, but I mean, if you take a look, I know Arizona, in this mock draft, they got Byron Murphy, but Arizona picks at 35 and they have 3 third-round draft picks. I mean, I know it's in the division, but I mean,
yeah, I don't see that. Yeah, it's just hard for me to see teams in the division making trades with each other.
It's hard for me too.
Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah, because I mean, because if I'm the 49ers, I'm looking at upgrading the offensive line. I'm looking at upgrading the secondary. There's been a lot of Brandon Ayuk trade talk. It's tough. It's tough. You're in a tough spot here, Keaton.
Yeah, I mean, the offense I believe is still. I mean, no, Brandon Ayuk is room to go places, but like if they're able to retain them, I mean, you're pretty much set on that side of the ball. So I don't think they need to worry about offense. Like I said, you could go with a guy like Graham Barton too, because he could play on both sides of the offensive line. But like Leatu Latu, like I said before, I mean, you lost Chase Young on that defense. It's kind of hard for me to see him not being a part of that defense. So I'm gonna go Leatu here for the 49ers.
All right, I am Big Chief Shawn. Are you going to veto Leatu Latu going to San Francisco?
Oh, that's
I don't hate that either. I mean, it's great value, and then you have a lot of players at defensive end. Remember, they traded DeForest Buckner to the Colts for a first-round pick.
right.
There's a lot of teams. I could see San Francisco getting very creative here with a move like this and moving some players besides Bosa.
Yeah.
And trying to get some players, especially if you move AOC, you can do a variety of different things. Save the best for last. The 2-time winning Super Bowl Chiefs are on the clock. Big Chief Shawn, your team is picking, man. Do we trade? Do we take somebody? What do we do?
We're taking somebody. And I mean, there was 2 choices, but I think when you spend $500 million on a man that can get you maybe your first 3-peat in NFL history, you need to protect him. So I am going with Tyler Guyton.
He's already gone.
Is he? God damn it. Damn it. And I'm going Jordan Morgan. He's the only good one left on the board.
I'm on level with it. I like both Suda Matea, who's Penei Sewell's cousin. Andy Reid's from BYU. Andy Reid looks to be. I like him better. I also like Patrick Paul better. But we're going to go Jordan Morgan unless Keaton Talks Sports wants to veto this.
I mean, it's not a bad selection. I mean, you can also go. I mean, you look at the receivers. I mean, they had the most drops in football last year. You could go that route. I mean, A.D. Mitchell would be a good fit there. I mean, Ladd McConkey too. I mean, that dude has speed and can. I mean,
I'm
like
a big Troy Franklin fan.
Franklin, Xavier Worthy.
I think
actually, I was just about to say Xavier Worthy is actually probably.
I mean, you get Worthy, the only guy, the only receiver, maybe faster than Tyreek Hill. I'm gonna tell you something. What about
Coleman, a sleeper?
Deion Coleman. I have a major man crush on Xavier Legette. You could go all those guys, but the fun thing is I've been doing a lot of research with tackles. And if you look up, you go to Google and you type in top 10 offensive tackle prospects, every list is going to be completely different. Right. Most lists have Alt at 1, but not all of them. I've seen a lot of lists where Jordan Morgan is in the top 20. I've been bumping him down personally, but I don't hate it. So we're going to go Jordan Morgan, unless you want to change this up, Big Chief Shawn.
Yeah, actually, I do. I think we'll be able to find some better good tackles in the second round.
Yeah, so there's plenty of them. Yeah.
So I'm going to go Xavier Worthy, man. Let's see if we can.
Oh my God, the 4-2-1 over Adonde Mitchell. Are you sure?
Because the thing is, it's not out of the question. Like, if you guys go Xavier Worthy, I mean, I can see the Panthers getting Donnie Mitchell. Like I said, they need receiver help.
I think the Panthers either at 33 or 39 will take a receiver. I've been mocking them jumping back in round 1. But you want to go with the track dude here?
Yeah, I think we're my squad is good on picking up very talented speedsters. So
it's funny because the mock I heard was Hollywood Brown, and it's just he's a taller version, the taller, faster version of Hollywood Brown. And with this move, you can cut Kadarius Toney. Just it didn't work out.
Yeah,
just get rid of him. If things work out with Sky Moore, great. But if they don't, goodbye.
Yeah.
And by the way, we only have Hollywood Brown for 1 year. It makes sense that
true.
let's just keep adding.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the only thing you have to worry about is just he's got to be more consistent with catching the ball. He's had some drops, but the dude is fast. He does fit offense.
Yeah, and the best part is if you draft Worthy here, he doesn't have to be a starter. He doesn't have to contribute right away. He could kind of just, kind of learn the offense, and then you want to build him up, to be ready towards playoff time. So Xavier Worthy is going to be the pick. And that is the end of our first round mock draft. We got some crazy moves here. Not as many trades as I was expecting. By the way, the one thing that's really bad about this site is that there's a ton of ads.
They're literally.
Yeah, there's ads everywhere. I got the free version, by the way. I think this is the
best version. Okay.
Hey, listen. This is, by the way, I'm going to post this to this. I'm saving this and I'm posting this to Twitter, so you will, or X or whatever you want to call it. So if you go to my social media page, you can see everything on here. The biggest surprise is Spencer Rattler. What? I did not see this coming.
I didn't see it either.
No, I got ads galore on here. Jesus, can I get? I seriously, I want to get rid of all these ads, but it's a nature. Hey, listen, when you get something for free, I get it. By the way, I do recommend this tool because it's really cool. I want to show everybody some. So, you can go to my social media. Go to Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. And you can see this mock draft posted there. But I'm going to start all over, and there's another ad. Yeah. Here's what I really like.
See, I'm still.
Geez, another. Yeah, I know it's another ad. Got some more down here. You could do either a standard, and by the way, I have no idea what chart they're using here. But if you do the free for all, you can do anything. And that's what I really like. So now that we're almost been on for 3 hours, we can finally now see Big Chief Shawn.
Yeah, because see how fuzzy I am. I've been trying to work.
See, this is what. By the way, we can't even see you. You're blurred out.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm having issues. I'm having issues all night trying to fix this. I look like I'm an informant for the FBI, man. So Big Chief Shawn's under witness protection here. You can't know who I am.
You have no. By the way, you have no idea who Big Chief Shawn is.
Yeah, nobody knows.
You have no idea. Maybe he's in Kansas City. Maybe he's not. You never know. By the way, so those of you who don't know, I will be live for the NFL draft, the entire first round. I will be live. Keaton Talks Sports. He may be joining us. He may be doing his own thing. We don't know yet. He hasn't figured it out. But if he doesn't, then he hopefully will drop in. Gooch from the Back Talk Brothers is also planning on joining me live for the NFL draft. So look, listen. It's about 2.5 weeks away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost
a long wait. I know we got two more mock drafts to do, and then we actually can figure out who goes where. So that's gonna be.
Well, so here's what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 more mock drafts, and then Tuesday I'm gonna do the same thing I did tonight. I'm gonna do an interactive first round mock draft. I say interactive. That's a complete lie. I'm gonna do my final mock draft Tuesday. live. I'm going to do it here. I'm on the fence if I'm going to do trades or not. I really like the trades. We did quite a few trades in here, but I really think we're going to get some trades. Rattler in the first round. No, I could see Dallas taking him in the second. But I think it's interesting because there definitely is a reason why they did not extend Dak Prescott. Where before they were adamant that he's the guy. Now they're like, nah, we're just going to wait and see. To be perfectly honest with you, I think a guy like maybe Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. might be a better option. But
that's true.
I will say this though, Perry, Spencer Rattler's stock has been skyrocketing. There's a lot of, I mean, this was a guy a couple of years ago. People are talking about being the number one pick in the draft, got benched in Oklahoma, but he played well at South Carolina. And nobody said anything bad about him ever since like he's been playing in the bowl games, the combine, the meetings, like everything's been positive. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes in the second round, but probably first round's probably a little higher than I see him going. Guys, listen, I know Keaton is on the East Coast. I know it's late for you, so I do appreciate you staying up really late here. We've been on the air for about 3 hours. This is a great, fun experience for me. It was a great draft for me. Do check out Keaton's mock draft video. He's an interactive. Or I'm sorry, he has a 2-round mock draft. I keep saying interactive for some stupid reason. He has a 2-round mock draft with trades. I have the link in the description below. You definitely want to check it out. Keaton, before I get you out of here, man, any final thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, anything at all? The floor is yours.
Not much. I just thank you for having me on as usual. It was definitely fun doing that with you guys tonight. Big Chief Shawn, nice to meet you again.
Definitely nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, man, that was fun. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again for sure. So yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me on.
I hope you can come on here before the draft and we can do some more draft stuff here. I really enjoy your videos, even though we have some disagreements. I love your videos, and I look forward to next week to yours coming out. Even though you've said mine's better, I still like it.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah, Shawn, man, it's been way too long since you've been on. Way too long. Big Chief Shawn spends most of his time on TikTok. I haven't done anything with TikTok, but maybe I should. Big Chief Shawn, man, the floor is yours, man. Whatever you want to say, it's yours.
First and foremost, thanks guys for having me on here. This was hella fun. Of course, I would love to do it again anytime you guys want me to. You know, I enjoy it. Second and foremost, everybody, just follow me all your social mediums that you like. Finally trying to hit that mark to where, you know, catch it to my boy over there because he's hitting close to 2,000 subs, everybody. So
yeah, I was
subscribe to Keaton Talks Sports.
It's like the growth has kind of stopped here. I gotta keep going, but
you're gonna grow, man.
Yeah.
Subscribe to all of our channels. We're in every medium that you can find right now.
You know, I'm not doing TikTok. Actually, Keaton, are you on TikTok as well, or?
No, I'm on.
The TikTok thing was just the thing, like, because my wife wanted me to do it. She was like, "Hey, what'd you do TikTok?" I'm like, "I don't really do that." But I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
I'm mostly on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm mostly on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff, so you can catch me on there and stuff. So that's my main social medias and all that.
So I put the link to both your YouTube channels on there, but I didn't post any other social media links. But if you go to either Keaton Talks Sports on YouTube or Big Chief Shawn on YouTube, you'll see the links to their social media. So follow them on social media. My social media links are below. Perry has a final question. We'll do this one. Do you think we'll get any trades? I'm going to throw this out, and I meant to throw it out in my last video. It was due to time constraints. Evan Neal for the Giants, he was the 7th overall pick. The Giants in free agency stole the Raiders starting right tackle. I think Evan Neal is going to get moved either draft day or before the draft. I think there's a very strong possibility. I would look at Baltimore because Evan Neal's an Alabama guy. Baltimore as a whole at right tackle. I think Evan Neal to Baltimore would make a lot of sense. We mentioned Trevor Penning being an issue with the Saints, a guy with a lot of upside. It wouldn't surprise me if the Saints, who don't have a pick in rounds 3 or 4, try to move Trevor Penning for basically anything because he was benched, and I think that it might just be better for him to move on. So I would look at both of those tackles being moved early, and the reason why I say that is because would we mock 8 tackles in the first round, 8 or 9? I think it was 8. I'd have to go back, but I think we mocked 8 tackles in the first round. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of these teams says, "Hey, look, you can get one of these guys much cheaper," and especially Baltimore, because I got Baltimore taking Mims, so. Maybe Baltimore wants to make a move and get Evan Neal, with a 4th round pick. Take a look at both of those guys. If Miami wants to make a move with quarterback, don't be surprised if Tua's traded quickly after or before. I can see Brad Holmes make a trade for Neal. Perry, that's a good point. Brad Holmes has always made deals in the draft, and this one we didn't have him moving. So, guys, we've been on the air for 3 hours. I know Keaton's got a party he said he wants to go to because it's like it's at 11 o'clock. So Keaton's getting ready to go to the party. Big Chief Shawn's getting ready to do something fun here. So I'll get everybody off the air. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back Friday. If you get a chance, join me on Friday's show. And until then, have a great week. I'll see everybody back on Friday.
Peace out.